If you've heard me talk about this great company in the heart of central Iowa, they've got their Tough Core Click Together 4.5 millimeter waterproof vinyl flooring, great for you DIYers out there. But even if you're just a contractor or you need a different type of flooring, they've got you covered, whether it be tile showers, carpet. Give Iowa Floor Covering a chance to serve you better and serve your flooring needs. Visit them online at iowafloorcovering.com. That's iowafloorcovering.com. Or you can give them a call at 515-379-7000. That's 515-379-7000. Thank you to Iowa Floor Covering in Bondurant. Straight from the Man Cave Kinnick Under the Kitchen, Randy Engel, a longtime supporter of the Hawkeyes and from the Hawkeye of the Storm, has created so much licensed, authentic, original Hawkeye artwork featuring so many of your favorite Hawkeyes, from Brad Banks to Reese Vanderzee, from Chuck Long to Caleb Johnson to Spencer Lee, and the list goes on and on. Be sure you check out the Under the Kitchen art stand each year at Fry Fest. Visit Under the Kitchen on Facebook and check out the entire selection of signed and unsigned prints available at underthekitchen.square.site. That's underthekitchen.square.site. Check out Under the Kitchen today and get your authentic, original Hawkeye print. Well, Iowa women's basketball fans, whatever that was, it counts as a victory. Your Hawkeyes defeating the Maryland Terrapins by a final count of 85-78 in overtime. And I will admit, I've been watching sports a long time, seen a lot of great comebacks, have been on both sides of it. But there are simply times when it appears, it feels like, looks like a game is over. And I don't know that there's anybody that would be honest on here that would say, hey, I thought Maryland had a shot there. Hawkeyes were up by 17 with under 3 minutes to play. Under 3 minutes to play in the game. Iowa was up 17 They blow the lead. Maryland comes all the way back, sends it to overtime. Give credit to those Hawkeye women for finding a way to win in overtime. So much to get to, so much behind this win. And we're going to talk to Hawkeye women's basketball great Kachine Alexander in just 1 minute. But first, a big thank you to Big Grove Brewery. They are the official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes. Visit biggrove.com to check out their menu and their selection of beer brewed right there on location. And their locations include Des Moines, Solon, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City. Of course, now also a location in Omaha. Of course, Des Moines is closest to me, but find the closest nearest to you, the location closest to you, and enjoy watching your Hawkeyes, cheering your Hawkeyes on at your local Big Grove Brewery. Big Grove Brewery, the official watch party headquarters and official craft brewery of the Hawkeyes. Our Big Grove's big play of the day is given to guard Chit Chat Wright with the tweener assist to Journey Houston late in the third quarter. And honestly, when I saw that play happen, I had to go back, slow it down, and make sure, okay, this was a legitimate between the legs assist. And it absolutely was on the bounce pass to Journey Houston, who really stepped up in that third quarter. But at the time, I thought, oh, this is an easy call, right? I mean, it was still, a 5-point game at that point. And so that made it a 7-point game. Maryland was hanging around for most of this one and certainly didn't expect this game to get close at the end. One thing I want to ask Kachine about when she hops on here in just a moment is just lack of closing in regulation. I don't want to make this all a negative, right? Sometimes we're accused of that being negative. Well, we're trying to be critical. We're trying to look at this under a microscope to some extent. Obviously, losing a 17-point lead with under 3 minutes is not good. Lots of great things from start of the first quarter to the 3-minute mark of the fourth. I mean, Iowa controlled. I thought Iowa outplayed Maryland in almost every facet of the game until the 3-minute mark, and then it totally fell apart until overtime, and Iowa regained it. Obviously, those 3 minutes could have been critical to lose that lead in that short amount of time, so that's got to be corrected, and I'm curious what commonalities Kachine has seen from today versus that Oregon game where the Hawkeyes also struggled to close out. That was not as good of a team, and it wasn't on the road like it was today against the Terps. Turnovers play a factor, and certainly just not good decision-making, right? And those two things go hand in hand, right? Decision-making and turnovers. So we'll get to that here in a little bit, again, as we recap the 10th-ranked Hawkeyes and their defeat of the Maryland Terrapins. At this time, we want to welcome in former Iowa women's basketball guard Kachine Alexander to the show. Kachine, welcome. Thank you for being here.
I'm sweating.
Well, I will say a couple things. I heard there's a big winter storm coming to Charlotte, so Snuggie fits that. Does not fit how all of us were feeling collectively, trying to sweat through the last 3 minutes of regulation and then what should not have been, but an overtime period that Iowa managed to win. So much to get to. And I guess let's start with what I just led with before you hopped on with us. And that is, let's look at the positive side first, because I thought Iowa outplayed Maryland in almost every facet, beginning of the first quarter to the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter. And then honestly, you hit overtime. Let's talk about all of those good things first, right? 37 plus 5. So 42 good minutes of basketball tonight. What did Iowa do so well in College Park?
I mean, I'm going to keep it positive because I have a lot to say in regards to that. But
we'll get to that.
I felt like we played as a cohesive unit. There were a few times where I felt like we were taking the shots that Maryland wanted us to take, honestly speaking. But then there were times, I think majority of the time, we were still getting shots that we wanted to take. It was very helpful that Taylor McKay was on today. Thank God for that. That was nice to see the ball kind of go through the rim for her. But again, we just had some really good moments, like team defensive efforts, down to offensive rebounding. I mean, our rebounding was really good at one point. It was. To the point where the ball was like bouncing twice. And I'm like, somebody get it! Because we just were boxing out so well. So overall, like I said before, I thought that we played really, really good basketball as an entire team. That was giving the number 10 ranking for me at one point. But yeah, overall, I thought it was It was a good showing of basketball until the end.
I don't remember if it was Christy or whoever it was that called in the other night and said, what will it take for Iowa to be a top 10 team in your mind, Kachine? And I would think that with 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, you were probably thinking, yeah, they look like a top 10 team right now.
I was like, oh, yes, here we go. This is what I was looking for. And then on top of that, I felt like winning at Maryland, no matter what Maryland is ranked, is a hard game anyways, right? So the fact that Maryland is ranked, that's a big win. That's kind of a eye-opener for the Big Ten of sorts. Because I'm sure, just like everybody thought that Iowa had the easy schedule. Everybody's like, oh, they're 6-0, 5-0. That doesn't matter. It's against the bottom of the Big Ten. Well, we just beat Michigan State. We just beat Maryland. So people now have to start to kind of take us a little serious now.
And let's just make sure everybody knows this. Iowa did win tonight.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a very strange situation, right? But this does happen. I tell you what, had they not won, it would have been one of the biggest collapses in Iowa sports history. And I know that sounds just huge, but they were up 17 with under 3 minutes to play. 17. And by the way, it wasn't like it was a Fran McCaffrey 17-point lead where your team's not defending. When they were up 17, Maryland had 49. 49. Iowa had defended, to your point, Cash, had rebounded the ball unbelievably well throughout. So we will get to closing, fourth quarter issues. They've got some of those right now. But I want to hit on something you brought up, rebounding, because that was an observation I had early. You were the best there has been in a Hawkeye uniform, especially given your position size at rebounding the basketball. And it was clear that Iowa made a concerted effort to win on the glass. Sure. You have to against Maryland. But I am curious about how you balance telling your girls to box out versus go after the basketball, right? How is that taught? Because there were at least 2 or 3 times, and it was even observed by the Peacock crew that, boy, that ball's almost hitting the court. And a couple, I think at least once or twice it did, because they're boxing out so well. And then a Maryland offensive rebounder can leak in sometimes and steal that rebound. So what's the balance there, and how is that taught?
I think rebounding is a three-part thing, right? First, you have to find a body or hit, right? Like, you have to find the body. Secondly, you have to actually box out. And third, you have to go get the basketball. And I think at times it was almost as if we were doing all of the work. We were so getting everything boxed out. And then it was like, oh, somebody's going to get it. It's like we relaxed a little bit. It's like, no, you got to finish it. You can't do all that work for then someone to scoop in and get the rebound. Like, you got to finish that. So I think that's part of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't box out at all. That just wasn't my thing. I went to go get the basketball. So call it what you want. But I think everybody, for the team that we currently have, I think that they have to box out. We were doing so well at it. We just have to finish it. And I know I could hear Coach Jay in my mind telling them they have to finish the play. You have to get the basketball. Because you can't, like I said, you can't do all that work and not get the basketball. That is tragic.
Doug in the chat. Thank you, DJ Doug, with a super chat. Thank goodness we're such a good free throw shooting team. Oh, wait. Nice win.
I mean, we were.
Thank you
because we got the ball in the right hands.
Yeah. Okay. Again, we're gonna talk about the end there, but so rebounded the ball really well. I will say, until the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter, I sat here and I was watching the game. I very rarely watch Iowa games by myself. So full disclosure, I watched this game by myself, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, this is one of the more enjoyable games that I've watched. Like, it was enjoyable to watch. Great defense, great hustle. I thought Hannah Stolke played phenomenally well. I don't care about what percentage was. She missed a couple of gimmies. She's flying around, like you said the other day. Her energy is infectious. She's boxing people out. She's soaring in for rebounds. The officiating was odd. I will say that. I thought it was odd. I thought it was. It's one thing to be consistent, but it is possible to be consistently bad. And I thought there were stretches where it's like, whoa, like there's just some consistently.
Yeah, there was some weird ticky-tack fouls. It was like, what?
Really? But it was going both ways. So I don't want
to. Right. And then there were times where bodies were like on the floor. It was like a massacre.
Yeah.
And then it was like nothing. I'm like, okay.
Here's the other crazy thing about this comeback. Iowa was up 17 and Garzon was out of the game. She was fouled out. And I'll say this, look, again, credit to Iowa for closing it out in overtime, but they should be very, very thankful that they had Garcon in foul trouble. And then in the overtime period, the gal's name, whose name escapes me. Who am I thinking
I know who you're talking about.
Okonawa. I can never say her name right. Okonawa fouls out. I tell you what, if she doesn't foul out, they may not win this game. I mean, she really led the charge. She struggled from the field throughout, but she was a big part of their efforts. Had 12 rebounds, just 14 points on 3 of 10 shooting, but 12 rebounds, and he made a huge three. Let's address, before we get to, because we've got a bunch of people who obviously want to chat with you. Let's address how the collapse in the fourth quarter and the comeback occurred, okay? Because I got some things to say about the last possession or two. But what is happening from an X's and O's energy focus standpoint that you can see on television that is causing this? Is not the first time that this has happened. Remember the Oregon game, they kind of struggled to close that game as well. And that was at home. So that's got to be addressed, obviously. And if this isn't a wake-up call, then nothing will be. But what was it that happened and what has been happening in fourth quarter closing situations?
Well, I want to address something first. Coach J should have never took out Journey. Period. As soon as she took out Journey Houston and put in Ava, the collapse started. Immediately. Because that group is what got us that lead. That group and their energy together. Plus, we were better defensively with those two. Because as soon as Ava came in, she didn't want to foul. So she was just letting them get buckets. And I'm like, well, that doesn't help us. So number one, I hated that call. As soon as I saw Ava go to the scores table, I said, why? Why? Journey just rattled off. I don't even know how many points. 6, 8? I don't know at this point. And we're playing so well. If Journey can withstand the last 3 minutes, you leave her in there.
So was Hannah playing the 5 at that point?
Yes. Hannah was playing the 5 at that point. It was her and Journey Houston. And I think with that, we were better defensively because we were faster. We were more agile. We were just better in general. So I think at that point, that should never have happened. Okay, now I got that out of the way. I think that you saw our lack of leadership. I'm going to call some people out. Kylie Fairbach. There's no way you are one of our best free throw shooters. And in that moment, you are not taking the reins. You are 6th year? I don't even know. There's no way that happens.
She did on the last offensive possession of regulation, but you're saying before that, she should have demanded the ball.
Before that, we were turning the ball over.
Yep.
She didn't want the ball. It was like, I get it. Chit Chatter is our comfort zone. And Chit Chat made some mistakes as well.
Yes, she did.
But when you know that they are trying to foul, right? Because this is the end of the regulation. They're not playing defense. They're looking to get steals and foul. You should want the basketball every possession because you know you're going to get fouled and you know you're one of the best free throw shooters between you and Chit Chat. It's like she disappeared. Where are you going? Now, Chit Chat had some mistakes as well. I have to go back and figure out because I couldn't see on the replay the pass that I don't know if Chit Chat missed it or if it was behind her. I don't know, but the ball kind of like went that way.
You're talking about the one the baseline inbounds pass?
It was right in front of our bench.
Oh, okay, that one. Got it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a bad pass or Chit Chat just mishandled it. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But either way, we have to be stronger. That comes with maturity on all fronts. And Hannah, how many times are we going to pass the ball right into the girl's hands? Right. What are we doing? So it was a mix of things. And I also did not like that it didn't seem like we had a man-to-man press break. No,
they did not.
At the end.
They had no answer.
We just going to run around. Ain't no screens. There's nothing. It's just
totally agree.
Figure it out. Like chit chat, somebody go get the ball. Like, no. Let's stack it up. Let's figure out what we're gonna do. Can I just do that on the sideline right there? And chit chat got the ball every time. You should be doing that in the full court when you need to, or something.
So can I just interject for a second?
Of course you can.
After the Michigan State win, which was a phenomenal win at home, right? So this is yet another really good win for Iowa. But after that Michigan State win, I remember the comment was made, might have been on the broadcast, might have been on our broadcast, that Michigan State did not full court press Iowa as much as a lot of us expected them to.
Correct.
And I'm curious, like I don't know as much about Maryland's defense. I know they forced teams into turnovers at a pretty high rate as well, and Iowa did a phenomenal job through 3 quarters of not turning the ball over, especially the first half. But like, is it almost possibly a situation where you let your guard down because you expected all this press against Michigan State, maybe even press in the first half against Maryland, you didn't see it, and now you kind of let your guard down mentally? Does that happen for a player?
I think that, I would hope, right? In this scenario, I knew that Michigan State, because they started ramping up their pressure before all of that started happening. Because I actually put in the Discord, this is going to get ugly. It was 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I could feel it. And so I was like, they are going to start ramping up this pressure. It's going to get ugly. It's going to be bodies flying everywhere. I knew it. Now, I had hoped that we would be able to withstand all that chaos. But I know sometimes chaos clouds you. And now you're making stupid mistakes that you don't normally make because there's just so much chaos all over the place. There's bodies everywhere. So I can't say in this particular scenario that I can go with that because Maryland has always been like that. Like, always. Michigan State, not so much, right? They have their moments. They have a fairly new coach, et cetera. Maryland has been like that every year. Doesn't matter what's going on. Same with Ohio State. You know it's coming in that scenario. So I can't say that, no.
And that leads me to another question that maybe we don't have to address right now since it's going to be a busy postgame show. But why didn't Michigan State press more? Why aren't teams full court pressing Iowa more? We know Iowa's been susceptible to turnovers. We know they've been susceptible to the full court press ever since Caitlin has been gone. They have not proven that they're this real adept team at breaking the press. And if anything, what Iowa just showed on tape, up 17 and blowing the lead, if anything, teams, I would think, if they didn't already get the memo, they'll have gotten it now and they'll start bringing that press earlier in games. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Chris Bacon says, I give thanks for Journey Houston, as does Kachine, as do all of us. And great thing Iowa had a 17-point lead. Katie Lee with the super chat. Thank you, Katie. She's also in our Discord. Please comment on coach's choice or choices for taking timeouts. This always is a hot topic when, you're up and you blow a lead or you lose a close game. Choice of timeouts.
At first, my mindset was like, being up, or at least close to being up, and taking your last timeout. I think there was like 30 seconds left, maybe more. But I thought to myself in the moment, I'm like, ooh, that's risky. But it was riskier to continue to allow the players to take the ball out underneath their hoop. That was not going well for us. So I understood her mindset and just hoping if we can get this in, make some free throws, we'll be in a better position. It just happened to be that we turned the ball over there too. But I understand her decision as far as that last timeout in regulation.
Our player of the game today, Ava Hayden, 20 points, 8 of 13. Could have gone several different places because, like I said, I thought
I did not like that. I did not like her game at all.
Well, I know
it's 20 points. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand.
And efficient. I mean,
Ava, the way she's playing right now is bothering me.
Okay.
I feel like she's becoming very soft. It's a lot of like it's legitimately killing me. Like, and I'm like, what is this? Like, and I don't know if she's always on the floor for whatever reason. I don't know what's happening. I feel like she's just so worried about not fouling. Like, she's just not being her strong self. I don't like the way she's playing right now. But again, I will take the 20 points not playing well. Whatever. Well, you know what I'm saying? I'll take it.
If you keep flailing, if you keep doing this on camera, it's going to kill me.
That's what she's doing for 40 minutes. Like, but again, I don't know. There's something off, and I just don't know what it is right now. And I'm just praying to God that it doesn't bite us in the butt one day right now. But I don't know. It's something that is something off. But I'll take the 20 though.
Annie, thank you for the. This is Annie from New York. It's a win. They pulled through. Cheers from New York City. Thank you, Annie. We appreciate your support as always. All right, we got a plethora of calls. People who have been on hold for a number of minutes already from the start of the show. Let's go to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hey, it's Kyle Thompson.
Hey, Kyle. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. A win's a win, right? I keep hearing that. I've heard that a lot over the last 3 days.
Yeah, a win's a win. But usually if you have a collapse like that, you're bound to lose the game.
Facts.
So the question is, Kachine, Kyle's always great at leading us into an extra question, a supplementary question. What does this prove about Iowa that they were able to blow a 17-point lead, but then compose themselves together enough? Because you questioned leadership. When you blow a lead like that, you question leadership of Kylie down the stretch there. And by the way, you don't go under that screen. I mean, I texted you. I should have texted you in all caps because it was basically me yelling into my phone what I wanted to say. But I saw Kylie go under that screen. You're up 3. Why are you going under 3? You're up.
Like, I don't care if she's a shooter or not. Like, please. They need a 3.
And this is Iowa's best defender, best perimeter defender, and she goes under a screen, gives up the 3. So, but what does it say about Iowa, the fact that they were able to compose themselves and pull this thing out in OT?
So on the flip end, I'm going to give Kylie props in overtime because my assumption, this is what I'm going to go with because I don't know, but my assumption is that during that time in between regulation and overtime, she had to get them together. She started to want the basketball. She started to be like, okay, I need to get myself in position so now I can shoot these free throws. And she's knocking them down, which is what we expect her to do. That's what I would have liked to see her beforehand, not get to a point where we're in complete desperation mode. And now it's that. Now I'll take it either way, right? Like, I'd rather it happen than not happen. But I definitely saw like leadership in that aspect of being like, you know what? No, we are not leaving here without a W. And I do think that came from all of them, even Ava hitting those 2 clutch free throws. Like I was definitely expecting her to miss 1. So you have that. And our rebounding picked up again. We were playing team defense. We got back to what we were doing beforehand. And so, there was definitely, we grew up in that huddle. I don't know what happened in the last 3 minutes, but we definitely took a step forward and grew up a little bit in that huddle because now they have it in their mind that even if something does happen in games, we can regroup and get ourselves back going.
But it really did help getting Okonwa out of the game.
Oh, hell yeah. Had to get out of there.
I mean, you get Garzone and Okonwa out of the game.
Woo!
So, Kyle, sorry to go off on thing, but appreciate your opportunity at a follow-up question there.
Yeah, and another thing is, I don't know why you have Stokey taking the ball out. It was a turnover bound to happen, and it did on that final minute of the fourth quarter.
Okay, that's a great question. Obviously, normally bigs take it out on the baseline after a make, but in a situation like that where a team's pressing, how is that coached? And do you question the decision to have Hannah Stolke inbounding the ball there, Kachine?
The only option is for you to take her out of the game and put somebody else in. If you have Hannah Stolke in the game, you don't have a choice but to have her take the ball out. Because if you have a guard take the ball out, now you only have 2.
Time out real quick. Can I ask a question? Why was she in the game? What benefit does it give Iowa to have her in the game in that situation? Unless they really like her as a passer, she's a liability at the free throw line. She's not a ball handler. Who are we putting in? Anybody. Yeah. Anybody.
No.
Tremlo. Well, I don't know about Journey. I don't trust her at the line either.
I'm definitely not putting in Taylor Tremlo.
Why? Why would I not put in?
What?
Hold on a second. Why would I not put on? Why would I not put in one of the best passers on the team
Because she is turnover prone. She doesn't like pressure.
She's also a ball handling guard. She dealt with lots of pressure.
And turning the ball over. Absolutely not, Corey.
Hannah Stuelke turned the ball over
like 3 times, just gave it to the other team. Nah.
Okay.
No.
I think
Stremlo cannot be played when there is pressure defense.
So you'd rather Hannah Stuelke in the game. I'm asking. You'd rather Hannah Stuelke making those passes, trying to beat pressure than Taylor Stremlo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely not Stremlo.
Well, I'm giving her as an example. I mean, you mentioned Journey Houston. I don't know that I trust Journey at the free throw line enough.
I don't know if I would. That's my point. I don't know if I have somebody on the bench and I'm like, okay, yeah, that would be the best option. I don't like none of them off the bench. So my option is, okay, at least I have Hannah at that point. She's a little longer. She can see over them a little bit better. Now, keep it in mind, though. Hannah's been inbounding many times. Even when the pressure started, she turned the ball over, 2 times out of how many times that she's been? I know in our mindset, we're like, oh, my God, it's in the crunch time. Blah, 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 blah. But if we think about it, that's a pretty darn good percentage in regards to how many times she actually inbounds it cleanly versus the couple times that she did.
But what's the difference? If you can't compare it to the
no. Stremlo is all the time.
No, I'm saying you can't compare it. But inbounding a ball without pressure is totally different than inbounding a ball.
That's not what I said. I said when they started pressuring, and she was inbounding the ball. If we talk about, let's say she inbounded it 10 times. She turned the ball over twice. That's 80% of the time. I'll take it. Right? Like, I'll take it anytime. But my mindset is I know for a fact Taylor Stremlo cannot handle pressure. That is not an option. She's probably going to be the reversed in that scenario. I don't trust that one bit.
Yeah. Well, apparently the staff agrees with you. I don't know that I do. But Kyle, anything else, sir?
Yeah. You just got to win a tough game. Then we got another tough game coming up at home.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
It doesn't get any easier, but hey, like you say, a win's a win.
Yep. All right, that's all I got.
All right, sir.
If you live in Iowa tomorrow, stay warm.
Absolutely. Anywhere in the Midwest, even in Charlotte, stay warm this weekend. Kyle, thank you for calling in, sir.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. All right. War Dog 44, thank you for the California money. It'll convert. So thank you for that. The super chat donation there. And all right. Let's go to our phone line. We got Bo here with us. Bo, welcome back.
Hi guys, how you doing?
We're all right.
Hi.
We hung in there.
I'm not sure why my webcam's not working, but whatever. So
you're good.
Wow, what a game.
what a game.
I got to shout out people. You got to get in the Discord. It was a fun game to be in Discord today. Cash, I even messaged you. Where is the whiteboard?
Whiteboard for what? What I missed?
Everybody was calling for a whiteboard moment from you. That I can't remember. I sent you, forwarded you a thing in the Discord or tagged you in it for the Discord. Somebody said it's a whiteboard moment. Like Cash.
Yeah.
I gotta go look at what you're talking about because I'm trying to figure out what or somebody put it in the chat. I'm trying to figure out what the whiteboard moment is, but I'll figure it out.
I forwarded it to you, I think, in a direct message. Then I tagged you in it. But anyway, talk about the heart attack Hawks. I actually got to call this out because when Iowa was up 11, everybody's like, "We're up, chill." And I actually said this: I have seen too many leads blown late in my life. And then, of course, the Hawkeyes say, "Hold my beer." Because on this run, I'm like, wow, why? But
yeah, well,
my hope is that this is a learning moment, and they really need to study those last 3 minutes to learn from what happened. I think that'll pay dividends. But you guys talk about Feuerbach now stepping up. I gotta call this one out. I went into ESPN. ESPN's game or play-by-play is great with Control F for finding when players were doing things, and you can actually find when. Like I did one for McCabe. So she hits it 1-3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 with 4 minutes left in the fourth. Other than that, it seems like she did nothing. So I think she also needs to be somebody who steps up more offensively when we need a basket. But
she ain't that person. I'd never put her in that position.
And where I have to kind of counter you a little, Cash, on this is I agree. What I would say about Stremlo, and I think I even put this in the Discord, is she really struggles with face guarding defense. But where I would counter in the position is when they are in an obvious fouling position, more than 2 possession game, put Stremlo in as a trigger player instead of Hannah, because most of the time they're going to foul. She's not going to get the ball anyway to be pressured.
Yeah, but somebody got to take the ball in. So who putting the ball in? Who's
well, that's what I'm saying. Stremlo is the trigger. Stremlo would be inbounding. I would trust her inbounding more than Hannah.
Just for the record, Hannah Stolke had 4 turnovers tonight. Stremlo had 2. Just for the record. Yeah. I know Stolke played 43 minutes. I get that. But you acted like Stremlo was, had a dozen turnovers out there.
Well, I think that
turnovers are atrocious.
I think that's kind of the debate of it. But anyway, because
why
is Hannah taking the ball out?
Listen, as soon as she turned them 2 over, she never saw the court again because of how bad.
But so I'm going to post this in the Discord again. But I went through and also did the Control F on Houston, and it was amazing the segment that she did. So I think she scores her second basket with 53 seconds left in the third. She gets it with 15 seconds left in the third, offensive rebound and putback. So I think that was kind of beginning. But then she just goes on a tear. 8:55 in the fourth, offensive board and layup. 8:40 makes an 18-foot jumper. 8:02 makes a driving layup. These are on the fourth. 6:33 offensive board. 5:53 offensive board. But then 4:29, she commits an offensive foul and turnover, and she's pulled. So I don't know if Jan thought that her luck had run out, but it is amazing how much of a tear she went off in such a short period of time.
Honestly,
I have to eat crow because I actually said earlier in the game something to the effect of, this just doesn't feel like a Houston game, and I was wrong. But
let me just say this: I do believe I'm not. This was I had no plans to make this a show where we, criticize the coaching staff for when they take timeouts or subs. But if you're going to criticize Jan for anything, in my opinion, it's substitutions. And you brought it up. And you brought up putting Ava in there when Journey was playing really well. And I'm bringing up, I would have had Journey Houston. You disagree with that, but I would have had Taylor Stremlo in there for Stolke. And by the way, here, let me just say one more thing on that. This is why I, at least in that situation, might have trust in Taylor Stremlo, even if she has been turning the ball over in other situations. I go back to how she played in November when there was no other option. She had lots of pressure on her then, and she stepped up and played through that pressure. And I almost wonder if she needs to be told, yes, you turned the ball over earlier, but we have confidence, we have trust in you. Go out there right now and help us win this game. I just wonder if that's what she needs mentally, because that's what she probably had. She had to have gotten that back in November. I don't know. I mean, I just, again, it's all hindsight, right? If Hannah inbounds the ball and that they get one possession, when you have to get a comeback like this, Bo. I mean, I remember Iowa men's basketball. Wasn't it like a 17-point comeback against Michigan State at home a couple of years ago?
Don't remind me because I left that game early.
You learned, but every single possession had to go right. I mean, if you have one missed 3 in there, or you don't get this turnover here, you can't complete it. I mean, basically you have to execute perfectly. Another team has to do what they have to do to give you an opportunity. And that's what happened right down the stretch. Kachine, were you ever a part of this on either end when you played, blowing a big lead late to that extent?
Absolutely.
Or coming back?
Like 30 on Illinois my senior night. And I almost lost that.
Okay, but you didn't lose.
Absolutely not. I refuse. You're nuts. I got every rebound and every free throw. That's actually the game that I have the record for most free throws shot in a game. That game. Because no, we're not doing that.
And by the way, to respond to Rafine in the chat, can't wait for Corey to bash Deal on turnovers. I haven't said anything about turnovers from Deal. I actually thought she looked really good for a while, and then she struggled from the
How many turnovers she had?
She had 1.
Yeah, I don't remember her turning the ball over.
It was just a pass that got tipped away. But I really liked her baseline jumper. But I thought on that turnover, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad of a turnover, Cash. I was thinking,
Deal?
Yeah.
I don't even really remember her turnover like that, so clearly it wasn't. I didn't think she turned the ball over really.
5 minutes for what she got.
I thought Addie Deal, I said this during the game, I thought Addie Deal looked more comfortable today than I've seen her. And that's probably a result of how well she's played these last 2 games. You have confidence, you're going to look more comfortable. But I'm not worried about 1 of 4 from the field. But I do believe that what we saw from Taylor McCabe She had 12 and 5, along with 4 threes, shot 50% from 3. I just want to say this. That's why she's starting, okay? That is why she's starting. So for the people that say we're quick trigger on Addie Deal needs to start over McCabe, again, I say pump the brakes on that. And I still want Taylor McCabe shooting open threes more than I want Addie Deal shooting open threes. I think both of those players can knock down those shots. But Taylor ended up with 1 turnover tonight. And she handles the ball. I mean, 31 minutes played. She handles the ball a lot, Kachine. She just doesn't take risks with the ball.
She don't take risk at all.
Well, but Cash would probably disagree with this. I thought the Deal I can think of just a few possessions right off the top of my head, is playing better defense than she was earlier in the year. There was a couple times where she was on.
Yeah,
I can't remember who their really highest ranked guard is, but then she ended up on Poffenbarger, and she walled up on her really well. And it's like, I think she's starting to pick it up a little bit.
No, I think she's playing fine defensively. Kachine, what do you think?
Agreed. I agree with you. I don't think honestly speaking, I would have probably gave Deal probably a
few more minutes.
A few more minutes in that aspect, but because I don't want her to backpedal. Yeah. So I probably would have done that. But yeah, I don't really have any. I think she looks more confident than she has in the past, things like that. She just has a better flow of the game. So yeah, I don't.
The last thing I had written down on this from what you were talking about the rebounding, I was really impressed with the rebounding intensity, but I was saying the same thing you were, Cash. It's like, does anybody want to go get the dang ball? But the thing I'll also say on this that I think was key and maybe overlooked is I think that rebounding and boxing out intensity set up Iowa really well with the foul situation because Maryland was fouling a lot to try to fight over the boxing out, which put them in a foul problem. Which, again, if you have Garzon in there at the end, or, I can't pronounce her name right now, Akumo Wale. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Not Akumo Wale.
Who are you talking about? The other girl that fouled out?
Number 7. The guard, number 7. Yeah, Okano. If she doesn't foul out at the end, this could be a different outcome.
Yep.
But that was set up by Iowa playing tough at the beginning of the game, getting those fouls and putting Maryland in a bad position down the stretch.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that deserves a shout out.
Bo, thank you for calling. Thanks for being in the Discord and for giving it a shout out. I know it's a fun time over there.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
I totally agree. It is. I have this underlying sense of guilt that I'm on here, even talking about what went wrong because I cannot tell you. I was so hyped up about how well this team was playing through, again, almost the entire game for 37 minutes.
The only thing I literally would have said outside of the great things is that their offense, they're making their lives so much harder than it needs to be. But other than that, yeah.
What do you mean by that? They're making their lives harder than it needs to be on offense, even during the first 37 minutes.
Yeah. So I don't know where this is the problem. I'm gonna have to start hiding my things from my daughter because I don't even know where it is.
What, the whiteboard?
No, I know what the whiteboard is. That's
okay.
I'm talking about my marker. I don't know where the heck she put it. But defensively, when we played our high-low, the defense of the high-low person at the free throw line was literally in the paint. Like their feet were on the arc underneath the hoop. And I kept telling myself, oh my gosh, you can't run your opposite guard to the top of the key because now we have our overload. Everybody's on this side of the court. That makes sense for a lob because then you've vacated the whole backside. But there isn't because the Hannah's person or whoever is at the high post is taking care of the lob. So in my mind, I'm like, stop doing that. As soon as you start seeing this happen and people are playing our offense this way, move the person at the top of the key outside and now have Hannah or whoever go ball screen. Because when you ball screen, that player is sitting in the paint. So now here comes Chit Chat, able to do what she needs to do. And every time we ran a ball screen, we got great things out of it. And I'm like, we're giving up such an opportunity. And now that player is not going to be so saggy because now they have to worry about this ball screen. because Chit-Chat can shoot behind the ball screen. So can Taylor McCabe. So all of those things are in our benefit, but we just keep trying to force stuff down there, and it works sometimes. But I'm like, oh my God, we're making our lives so much harder. It doesn't need to be that hard. But here we go.
W. Cubbage says, Jan Jensen with the classic Kirk Ferentz special. Take your foot off the gas and let the other team come back. Well,
that's hilarious.
Normally Kirk closes those games out. Normally, I mean, this year might have been the exception to that. But yeah, they did close this game out tonight. So got to give credit where credit is due. All right, folks, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with more with myself and Kachine Alexander coming up right after a short message from our sponsors. Let me introduce you to one of the proud supporters of From the Hawkeye of the Storm, Iowa floor covering down in Bondurant. Now, for the last year and a half, you've heard me talk about this great company in the heart of central Iowa. They've got their tough core, click together, 4.5 millimeter waterproof vinyl flooring, great for you DIYers out there. But even if you're just a contractor or you need a different type of flooring, they've got you covered, whether it be tile showers, carpet. Give Iowa Floor Covering a chance to serve you better and serve your flooring needs. Visit them online at iowafloorcovering.com. That's iowafloorcovering.com, or you can give them a call at 515-379-7000. That's 515-379-7000. Thank you to Iowa Floor Covering in Bondurant. Straight from the man cave, Kinnick under the kitchen, Randy Engel, a longtime supporter of the Hawkeyes and from the Hawkeye of the Storm, has created so much licensed, authentic, original Hawkeye artwork featuring so many of your favorite Hawkeyes, from Brad Banks to Reese Vanderzee, from Chuck Long to Caleb Johnson to Spencer Lee, and the list goes on and on. Be sure you check out the Under the Kitchen art stand each year at Fry Fest. Visit Under the Kitchen on Facebook and check out the entire selection of signed and unsigned prints available at underthekitchen.square.site. That's underthekitchen.square.site. Check out Under the Kitchen today and get your authentic, original Hawkeye print. We are back here talking Iowa, Maryland, the Hawkeyes 85-78 defeat of the Maryland Terrapins. We do appreciate our great sponsors for making this show possible. TG in the chat says the best flooring company out there. We got them done by Iowa Floor Covering. So appreciate you doing that, and a great testimonial as well. All right. Yes, and you are Kachine the Machine. Did you see the ATM post? I used a couple of ATM emojis in our promotion for today's show.
See that.
Got to keep figuring out ways to promote in unique ways, Kachine. So there might be some cliches in there, but
you should ask the Discord next time.
Yeah, we could get suggestions in the Discord. Yeah, a lot of smart people over there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to our phone line. Let's see who's up next. I know we got still a plethora of people. We have got John here with us. John, welcome back to the show, sir.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Hello.
All right.
Hey,
How are you?
I did have a couple of questions for Kachine.
Yeah.
And even you, Corey. But what do you think of the way they were playing when you did? I guess the high-low or whatever. When Ava was out there, or Hannah, and they got the ball. No one's guarding them.
Mm-hmm.
They were afraid to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And they just stood there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were packing the paint.
That's called smart on Maryland's part.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
they can't shoot. Hey, listen, I made the comment during the game, and I posted it to Discord or to Twitter. That's smart, right, Kachine? I mean,
Absolutely.
They had no respect for any of the 4s or 5s that played for Iowa. Not for Journey, not for Hannah, not for Ava, not for Layla. They said, we don't believe you can consistently make a shot from the mid-range, so shoot away. And I think Ava made 1, maybe 2. No one else made 1 tonight. I don't know why we still play that way, John.
Yeah. Well, even in the first half, when I forget the name, Houston come out. Mm-hmm. She seemed reluctant to shoot. But then in the second half, when she was out there, she hustled a lot more, made some shots. She made 1 from a short distance. But somewhere in there, do you think they should at least try to shoot them?
No. Mm-mm.
So how do you deal with the packed paint like that, Kachine?
Exactly what I said. You have to make them pay. You have to ball screen them out of it. Whoever is sagging in the paint is a free screener, literally a free screener. You have no help coming off that ball screen because they're way too far in the paint. Taylor Stremlo is a very good mid-range shooter. Chit Chat is a good mid-range shooter. Use that to your benefit. And I feel like, that's why I said we're making our job so much harder, and you're putting players like Houston, Ava, although she wants to shoot it, and Hannah in a situation that's not good and it does not benefit us. So, and then it gets stuck because, this is going to sound crazy, but if I don't even know if I want to say it. I'm going to say it, hell, whatever. If I was playing Iowa and as soon as we would have some kind of call, as soon as the ball got into the high post, everybody would face guard. Because what's she going to do now? Because you there's no outlet. They do not get the ball out once it's in the high post. That would be my game plan, because we are so timid, which again, I understand why we are, because we are not good shooters. Okay. That is not a good shot for Iowa. I don't care how wide open you are. But defensively, once you get it in there, that's called the dead zone. Once it goes in there, it's going to die because you can't get it out.
Well, I know that.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I noticed they just, hell, they stand there for what, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and they wanted to pass it. They couldn't even find anyone open to pass it half the time right away. It was, nothing going on.
Yeah.
They need to get some, like you're talking, some kind of a play off that. Because if I'm the next team playing them, do you pack it in again?
Everybody should be packing the paint against Iowa.
Didn't it remind you a little bit of Iowa, South Carolina from the national title game like 3-4 years ago? Except Iowa was sagging off of guards. They were just saying, hey, we don't believe any of you can shoot the three in general, yes. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other thing is, I know you talked about the fouls, but I just thought they were awful soft. I mean, I know a couple of those that Kylie got.
Well,
it barely got the body. I mean, that one, she didn't do much more than hit her uniform, and they called a foul.
A couple of those offensive fouls for both teams. I mean, I thought Maryland got the short end of the straw on some of those. And the color commentator made the comment, they show the replay, and she's like, oh, yeah, you see the extension there. And I'm like, what extension? I see no extension. A couple of those. And I thought there was the selling, if you want to call it flopping. I see Corey in the chat.
There's definitely some flopping.
Accusations of flopping, but it was both ways. And I will say this, the officials did know, they weren't doing anybody on one side a favor. I didn't like the calls on some of this, just a lot of fouls. And it just so happened that the critical fouls were against Maryland's best players, not Iowa's. And I guess that's the biggest difference for me from today's game versus maybe a game earlier in the year. I don't remember if UConn, Iowa State, those two losses were games in which Iowa really suffered in foul trouble, but they've had those games, especially with Ava, in foul trouble. In general now, John, it seems like even though Iowa's still fouling too much at times, they're not these horrendously unbalanced foul numbers where Ava's having to go to the bench early, or like what's been happening with Bennett Sturtz going to the bench with 2 fouls early. Ava had a couple of dumb fouls. You could see Jan Jensen doing this to Ava at the end of the first half. It was a dumb foul. I think it was her second. And, it was again,
her fourth was even dumb.
Yeah. So she hasn't totally fixed those issues, but they have gotten better. But I know that Kachine, also, you think that Ava's gotten a little soft because she's trying to foul, maybe.
There's a part of Ava is going to be just growing into her body. Like, she still kind of has that wobbliness about her in general. And that comes with strength. That comes with just your ability to be in the weight room, right? In that scenario. And I think that's going to come with time. And majority of her stupid fouls is because she's out of position. And she's still trying to be a hustle player. No. You got to be in position to hustle. Well, you can't be out of position to do that.
If you watch her, anytime she doesn't get a rebound, she does have a tendency to. She ain't been getting the fouls on him lately, but she still has a tendency to try and swipe at it from the other person, But I was surprised when I looked at the thing that she had 20 points, Ava. That surprised me. I didn't think she scored that much.
No, I couldn't.
That's why I had to go to the box score. I in naming a player of the game, I had to go to the box score. Look, because I'm like, well, Journey had that stretch. I thought Hannah was really good, but then she missed a couple of just point blank layups. And yeah, I wasn't blown away by Ava, but then I'm looking at the numbers: 8 of 13, 20 points, 8 boards. Okay, I go with Ava.
Well, like you said earlier, Hannah was really blocking out. I mean, she blocked.
She was really good.
The one time she blocked Modu or whatever her name is.
Mamadou.
When she got done blocking her, they were back to the foul line.
Yeah, Mamadou, not to be confused with Cash Mama. Go ahead, John.
Okay.
We are not the same.
But
all right. Hey,
but I thought the official, neither team, because all the fouls, they're especially the first half anyway. Nobody could get in a rhythm. They kept slowing the game down.
Yeah.
I mean, that one section they had 5 offensive fouls or 4 in a row.
Again, yeah, that's what I don't like about when a game's officiated this way. Even if it's both ways, it just disrupts momentum. But if the game wasn't officiated that way, John, there's a good chance Iowa doesn't win because Garzon doesn't foul out, and then Iowa doesn't foul out. So, yeah. John, thank you for being here. Always enjoy hearing from you and seeing you on camera. So thank you for being here, sir.
All right.
Take care. All right. I see a couple of people in the chat that I want to address. Ander MC, how can Cash see these things and Jan can't? Well, of course Jan sees them, right? I mean, we're not we're reacting in the moment. Jan doesn't do a post. She's going to be looking at the film and seeing the same thing. So
I will say this: it is easier as a coach to see things watching it than being in it. That is one thing I will say with head coaches. That's very difficult to do because you're also thinking about the next offensive play, what you should run, whatever the case is. Defensively, there's so many things going through your head. And so it is a difficult thing to do. Me, I don't got to worry about nothing besides watching what I see on the floor, technically speaking. That's why I do prefer when coaches have assistant coaches for certain things, meaning, for example, if I'm an assistant coach, I'm defense. My whole objective is defense. So now all I'm worried about is what our defense looks like, what we should play, what we should do, this, that, and the third, etc. You have another coach who's all offense. Like Abby seems to be highly into offense, right? And she's out with the whiteboard, drawing up plays. She should be thinking all offense. Don't worry about nothing defense, because it is hard to see so many different things and then still be able to come up with adjustments and things like that. I'm a huge advocate for separating. Maybe somebody's in charge of substitutions. You got a bunch of them now. Like, I got tons of coaches. Use them. Like,
true.
We didn't have that many coaches back then. So,
yeah, and Sean Sullivan he's just focused on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm aware. So, absolutely. JSC Hawk, Cash is on fire, and here's a Joshua. See, I knew we were going to get ripped. Should I do my voice here? People don't like it. How you both talk about Iowa? You'd think we lost. A win's a win. Well, of course.
A win is a win, Josh. You're absolutely right.
What are we not
have said fantastic things about this win, where I have said for 37 minutes, I thought we were a top 10 team. Yes, it was fantastic. However, that ending has a bad taste in people's mouth. Period. Now.
We can't get on here and not talk about it.
What am I supposed to say? You know what? Darn it. Shucks. I wish we should have X, Y, and Z, but we won. You wouldn't be tuning in if that's all we said.
I'll say this. It was interesting having Lisa Bluter on the pregame and then during the halftime show. She said some interesting things, and she's still very raw at this. She did the same thing with the Big Ten. I don't think she's gotten comfortable yet with an analyst role, and I totally understand.
No, she hasn't.
But it was interesting. She was asked at halftime, and this is right in line with what you've said before, but she said, she was asked, with the lead here on the road, Coach, what do you think Coach Jay is saying at halftime to these ladies? or is she being positive? Is she and basically her response was, well, she's always positive. So with the lead on the road like this, she's going to be really positive. She's going to be hyping everybody up.
She's not lying.
And I'm like, well, that's right in line with what you talked about. And, I almost.
Everything with her is positive. Like literally everything with her is positive. It's like she sees not even a glass half full. I mean, she sees it like damn near to the tippy top. That's just how she is as a person and as a coach. So it's like, oh my God, we're still up 3. Great job, guys. Like, it's like, we should be up 20. But that's Coach J. It works for her. So
yeah. And you guys, I'm curious. I'd love to ask her in a press conference situation or maybe in a private interview. Probably more of a private question. But who is the bad cop now? Like I wonder,
for real.
I wonder if she would be able to say, "Oh yeah, it's so and so."
Yeah, it's definitely not her. I know that. That's not even possible.
Do you think she values that dynamic?
You gotta have something. Like you have to have at least one coach who is like on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have that. Honestly, I have no idea who that could be if I'm gonna be.
Maybe
Randy
Rena?
looks like she
Maybe
doesn't
Rena?
talk,
Does Rena have the credit? Does you
Who?
think Rena does she have the creds yet to do that? Because I'll tell you what, it definitely ain't Jasmine. I've talked to Jasmine. There ain't no way she's.
Oh well, maybe they don't. Maybe they got a happy-go-lucky person. I don't know. But you definitely got to have one though.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. We have got a couple of people on the phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Oh, yes, this is Jacob. How you doing?
Hey, Jacob. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. I think I was listening, and Kachine, you're 100% right. The big issue tonight towards the end of the game was leadership because Hannah inbounding the ball, she's a senior. She knows when she inbounds the ball, she can't be a little lackadaisical with it. She was a little lackadaisical with inbounding. And then Kylie, McCabe, even Chit Chat, nobody was attacking the inbounds pass. Nobody was trying to go get it. They were just kind of like, okay, I'll wait for this bounce pass to get to me versus I'm going to go attack this. I'm going to be, fully engaged. I know I'm going to have contact, all of that. And, at some point with a game like this, the players, they have to make a play. They have to close this out. Because less than a minute, it's like 50 seconds left, and I think that's when we called our last timeout. And Jan's yelling at everybody, no timeouts, no timeouts. So everybody's aware. Mm-hmm. But everybody was just a little not super aggressive. And then with that last time in regulation, there was 10 seconds left. We inbound the ball. Chit Chat gingerly brings the ball up, goes to the corner, and then passes the ball, gets knocked out of bounds, and we have 2 seconds left. What is with that kind of lack of aggression at the end of the game there to close it out by the players? Why do you think that is?
Well,
we don't have any players that have that kind of mentality.
Well, it should be Chit Chat. The problem, right? It should be Chit Chat, right, Kachine?
Chit Chat's never going to be that player. Chit Chat is exactly what I want her to be. She is a fantastic scoring guard that can knock down threes, that can control an offense. That's it. We are missing a star player who we know is going to get the ball and score. We don't have that. Nobody knows who the ball is going to go to. Nobody knows who's taking that last shot. Because did any of us know? No. Because we don't have that.
Well, but you got to be better. I think what Jacob is saying, you have to be more aware of clock and situation. That's what I have. I have a gripe with that as well, because to me, and we haven't seen it rear its ugly head recently, but I thought we saw it a lot last year. And so maybe it has been corrected to some extent, but it seems like this team, and there are other college basketball teams, I tend to see it more on the women's side than the men's side. I don't know why that is, but it seems like players don't know where the clock is. Kachine, I made a comment to you the other night. I think it was a Michigan State game where the girl's just running towards the rim, and she's no one in front of her, and she just let the clock run out. No awareness of where the clock is. I'm not saying Iowa didn't know where the clock was, but I think Jacob's point, you got to have a sense of urgency there and run something. And then I don't know what the play was.
Who's calling that?
Well, they had no timeouts. It had to have been discussed during the last timeout that, hey, if we get in a situation, here's what we're doing. Correct?
May or may not be.
Well,
that's the question. Because we were up, what were we? Up 3 at the time.
Yeah.
Then the girl comes down, hits the 3, and then it looked like we had no clue what to do.
Well, that's not good coaching, in my opinion, because, I mean, first of all, again, Kylie goes under on a screen, right? You make both free throws. Kylie goes under on a screen. You just don't do that. Also, you could argue they should have fouled, right? There's the argument of foul up 3.
We're not going there.
Why? Why can't we go there? Do you believe in fouling up 3?
I absolutely do. Okay, I'm not. I understand to a degree. I understand Coach Jay's point of not fouling, right? Because they're not a fantastic three-point shooting team, right? That was just a heck of a shot. I'll take it. However, with that being said, Kylie knows better.
That's yeah.
They need a 3. Why would you give that? You don't give anybody an open 3. I don't care if that person ain't never shot a 3 in her life. You don't give them an open 3.
Yeah, exactly.
So that in itself is crazy. But they did not have any idea what to do when they were down 3 or when they were tied up. There was nothing. There was no offense. There was no everybody. Normally when you know that something's been discussed, everybody gets to their places right away. There should have been a discussion if we were tied, if we were down 1, down 2. There should have been a discussion about those 3 things because we are in the driver's seat. We are up. So, okay, we're going to go down here. Boom. If they tie the game up, this is what we're going to do. We don't have timeouts. We're going to run X, Y, and Z. Because at that point, all you need is a foul. That's all you need. But again, I didn't feel like we talked about offense at all. We may have talked about getting the ball in bounds, but I don't think we talked about offense. I don't.
And that's what I was getting at is with Hannah, Taylor, Kylie out there specifically because they're all seniors. One of them, just one of them, has to be like, okay, I'm going to say something. I'm just going to say something because, like I said, Jan's yelling no timeouts. So I agree that I think they covered something. They covered something to do. And the players at this point, they got to make a play. They got to at least try to do something.
You felt like that offense looked like they talked about it?
What's that?
That offense looked like they talked about something?
No. I think Jan covered something. But I think when they got on the court and boom, the ball's in play, I think what you maybe said's right, unfortunately, is they're like, what do we do?
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if Jan talked about something specifically about what offense we were going to run if they tied the ball game up, you would have seen a resemblance of it. Even if 2 people forgot about it, you would at least see something. Where people are yelling at players, hey, no, we're running. Da, da, da. Like, there was nothing. There was 2 people standing at the top of the key somewhere. People was just trying to, there was no resemblance of an offense whatsoever at the end of that game. None. Now, again, we talk about learning things. We are all human at the end of the day. And at that time, we were probably so consumed with just trying to get the ball in. I'm sure that was probably the main conversation.
And let me just say, if there is an argument to be made for not fouling when you're up 3, it's when you've blown a 17-point lead because you can't pass the ball in bounds effectively or make free throws effectively, right, Kachine? Yes. You don't want to extend the game more if you're not making free throws or you can't get the ball into your best players who can shoot free throws. So I kind of understand, but you just can't go under a screen in that situation.
Nah, you can't do that.
And she knows that.
She should know better.
She better know.
She should know better without the coaching, right?
She knows.
Yes.
She knows.
And because that's the thing on the half court inbounds, after they call a timeout to advance the ball, they're running the same inbounds with Kate what they ran with Kate Martin, Gabby, Caitlin. They stack, they flare out. It's the same inbound play. But again, like I said, nobody's jumping to the ball. Nobody's saying, I'm going to go get this. And that's where I kind of agree a little bit too with Kachine is, Corey, I don't know if Stremlo's right to be out there at that time because I don't think A, she wants contact, and B, when she gets the ball, especially if you're going full court, you can't have her have the ball in her hands with any kind of pressure, and then in a pressure situation, you can't have that. Maybe in the half court. But yeah. Oh, and when sometimes when I'm going to say this real quick, Caitlin would make a three when it would go through the net, would swish, it just sounded different. Sometimes when Ava and Hannah shoot a shot from the elbow, that sounds way different. How that bounces off the backboard. Holy moly, it sounds like it's a shot put. It just bounces off so hard. It's like, whoa, what happened there? Yeah. Well, that's all Jacob, I got. Thanks.
Thanks for calling in, sir.
Thanks for. Absolutely. Yep. Have a good night.
You too. Go Hawks. All right. Here we got a couple things here in the chat. Again, super chats are always prioritized. So if we miss your comment, I got to prioritize the super chats. Your comment may get up on the screen, but we may not address it. Corey here says, I'm like 113. Hit the like button.
Hey.
Yes, New York. Please hit the like button. You are here, and we got about 900 people or so watching. We don't have an exact count. For some reason, Twitter won't give us a current live count. It just gives us a total. So I know we've got 700 some people on YouTube, but don't know how many people over on X. Bobby Nielsen's a premium member. Thank you, Bobby, for reminding everybody to smash the like button. Way too many people have not. So I don't know how many current likes we have, but please do that. It will help the show immensely. Brian says, hey, Hannah was player of the week. Yes, I'm aware of that. I get those press releases, so I'm very much aware of that. Let's see here. And this is ZJ who says, Cash, do you think it's also on the coaching staff to see that, make adjustments before it's too late? Because sometimes feels like they make adjustments late. I don't know when this is regards to this.
Me either.
It didn't pop up to the top, so I don't really know where ZJ is going with that. But
write another comment, ZJ, about what you're talking about.
We've got a lot
I
of
would love to answer that. I just don't know what you're referencing.
All right, let's go to our next caller. Okay,
Corey,
we got Lemansky on the phone. Lemansky, are you having a medical emergency?
I'm a hot mess, Corey. I'm a hot mess.
Okay. Well, it's been an hour since the game finished, a little over an hour since the game finished, and you're still a hot mess now. So that might qualify as a medical emergency. Why are you shaking a cow in my face?
This is not a cow. This is my emergency squeeze ball.
Oh, okay.
You squeeze that sucker when you got stressed, and then you throw that sucker down at the TV when you had enough.
Yeah. As long as you're not breaking your television, I guess the cow. Oh, yeah, he's got a field house cup.
So then I had to go to liquor.
Okay. Well, at least that explains the behavior, right?
Oh, yeah, this isn't my normal behavior. This is when the wheels come off.
Okay. All right. Well, liquored up, Lemansky. Go ahead, Lemansky.
Well, not really. I got good tolerance. I'd like to see you in Ames and prove it some night. Maybe we can do that.
Okay.
I have to issue a public apology to Tony Schneider. We went back and forth on the Discord, and it was all over the use of timeouts.
Okay.
And Tony has got me beat. Basketball, statistics, acumen. Tony is top shelf. So I just want to issue this public apology. But I want to be clear. I wasn't saying that's what I would do. I was reading Jan's mind that she knows we don't have anybody that can dribble except for one guard. And she doesn't want to take that risk. And that's why she's doing all those timeouts, because Cash has already said it. I like it when I piggyback off of Cash's early comments because I seem smarter than I am. But that's why she's doing all those timeouts. But Tony, nothing personal. You might be right. I was just reading Jan's mind. That's all I was doing.
Yeah, I didn't have when the game was going, Lemansky, I didn't see any direct, obvious issue with use of timeouts. What I don't like is when a coach sits on timeouts and he finishes the game with 2 or 3, especially in a close game like this. The reality was she finished with 0. So, yeah, maybe you say she took 2 timeouts too early, but, I mean, at least 2 of those timeouts were called during that stretch where they were giving up the 17-point lead. Am I right, Cash?
Agreed.
I mean, Ben McCollum sometimes takes timeouts after makes. When a team is making a run, Iowa scores, he takes a timeout.
If it works for his team, it works for his team, because that's some weird stuff he got going on over there. But it works for him. So, hey.
That's unorthodox. Yeah, it is.
Okay, defensive wizard 21. I just want to point out 3 things about Hannah Stuelke.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, she draws fouls on the opposition. Very key to the game tonight. Racking up fouls the other team. She boxes out like a madman. Okay. Perfect box out tonight. And the other thing is that she brings energy to the floor. I just think what Hannah does sometimes, we talk about points and players of the game and blah, blah, blah. The other thing I want to talk about tonight is that Chit Chat is a sophomore. Okay.
Crazy.
The player of the game, and Corey, with all due respect, because I thought it'd be harder than heck to pick a player of the game tonight. But here's my lobbying. She's young. She broke the press. 4 minutes to go. She hits a jumper. With 2 minutes to go, she has a bounce pass to Ava for 2. She goes to the line at the end of the game, hits the free throws. Cash, my player of the game. Close. It's Chit Chat. Your response to that statement?
I'm not against it. Y'all know how I felt about Ava, so I'm definitely not against it. I really like Chit Chat. I think she's just such a quiet clutch, man. Like, I don't even know how to describe her game, but like she hit shots and I'm like, whoa! Like, it's just
true
that about her.
She hit a big
and honestly speaking, she did so well. She given we're not talking about the end of the game. Given the rest of the game, she handled the press so well. Like by herself. Like just really well. And I think that's what even got us the lead to begin with, is we weren't turning the ball over. She was handling the press. She was distributing the basketball the way it needed to be distributed. She was hitting big shots. Overall, like I said, I just love watching her play. She is just so smooth. And it's nice to have a point guard like that. Like they just hit big shots. They don't do too much. You can count on them. She actually reminds me of like my point guard, Camille Walleen, where she was just a bucket. Like she was not overly vocal. She was not anything of the sort, but she could hit a timely bucket. So for me, I really enjoy watching her play. So I don't disagree with you, Lemansky. I thought that she was the key. Now, I really hated those turnovers right at the end of regulation. But
why okay. I didn't like them either.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you played games rebounding and go, where the hell is the rest of the team? I bet you were hitting
That's
the boards
fact.
going, how the freak do I have to do all the rebounding? We've got 4 other players on the freaking court. Where the hell do we have? Are we going to recruit any guards the rest of our lives, or we just need one?
I agree. I get it.
Well, I will say
I've been there.
I will say this. So Big Grove's big play of the day was Chit Chat right play. How about the between the legs bounce pass, which Peacock did a horrible job of highlighting? They didn't even show it, I don't believe, again. It was when Luka Doncic does it, they say it's a nutmeg. This, of course, is a little bit of different circumstances, but it was what you would say in tennis as a tweener, the assist to Journey Houston late in the third quarter, and Maryland was hanging around at that point. Now, in response to what you were saying about Chit Chat holistically, Kachine, she hit 2 big free throws in overtime, I believe, and then hit a big shot. Remember, they fell down by was it 2? They fell down by 2 right away, and boom, she hit a big jump shot on the ensuing possession. Those are big possessions, right? Especially when the momentum is totally swung to Maryland, and now they have the lead. I mean, they didn't lead the entire game, and now they have the lead. Boom, Chit Chat hits a big jumper. That was massive in overtime.
Yeah, huge. For sure.
So
even that rebound that they took her out, and then the girl ended up fouling out off of that rebound.
Yeah,
Chit-Chat's never there.
true. Yeah, she flew in there for that.
But she came up with it, and it was a bobble from Ava, and I was like, oh boy. And then I don't know where Chit-Chat came from. She scooped up the rebound. The girl fouled her, and I was like, okay, you're out of there. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, and I know Chit-Chat's gonna kick herself because she knows better than those two turnovers at the end. But I mean, yeah, you're right, Lemansky. I've been there where I'm like, hello, somebody.
The best statement made tonight has been your comments on Chit-Chat tonight. Now, you've coached, and I want your reaction to this, Cash. And I hate picking on Strem because I like her physicality. I like her tenaciousness. But coached at a very minor level doesn't make me that smart, but it makes me be able to talk about basketball. When Strem was at the top of the key, and your coach has been talking about angles the whole season. She started out the good season like, we have to know our angles when we're feeding the post. She's like at the top of the key and maybe 2 feet in front of the 3-point line. And she throws, late in the game, she throws this inbound, this feed into the post, and it isn't even freaking close. That's where I threw this sucker at the TV, because you got to listen to your coach about angles.
Well, I'll say this, Lemansky, before I let you go. I am happy that, you know, when the liquor comes out and you know, you're kind of in a tough place, you're taking your anger out on something that's basically harmless. So that's good, because that you're way ahead of a lot of people. So I'll compliment you on that, Lemansky, at a minimum.
I gotta tell you the truth. I did this dry, but I came close.
Okay. Well, then we have questions. We have more questions then.
I'm being theatrical to entertain you, but I came close because I got a whole bottle of champagne in there that I damn near opened, but I don't dare. But you're the maestro with the podcast, because when you were gonna do this show, I said, how's Corey gonna do this show? There was so bizarrity towards the end of the game.
Oh, I loved the idea of doing a show. I mean, I was like, when they were up 16, 17, whatever, I'm like, this is gonna be a fun show. And then when they blew the lead, I'm like, this is gonna be an awful show. And then when they won, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a fun show, because at least we're gonna have a ton to talk about, and they did win. So yeah.
I'm gonna leave you with this and get off. I'd be willing to come to Ames if you can't play with Cash Mama properly when you do your introductory.
If I can't what?
Well, it's getting kind of feisty before you're not on the same page, and there's different views, and you got the wrong player of the game again. What in the hell's going on? Did you watch half the game, Corey?
That's a very normal occurrence, Lemansky. So
yeah. No, I like that, because I like a little tension even on the basketball court. So thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to be real. We got to be honest. And there's going to be times where I disagree with Kachine, and then I'm going to get destroyed because you know nothing about basketball. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'm not asking you to believe what I have to say. I'm just giving you my opinion. By the way, Iowa broke even on turnovers today. And first half, that's amazing, actually. They only had 17. When you listen, talk about a road game at Maryland, okay? And then you tell me they blew a 17-point lead with under 3 minutes to go. I would have thought they had 20-plus turnovers, right? But in spite of that number, 17, the fact that they blew a 17-point lead, they only had 17 turnovers in the game. In fact, I'm looking back at the half-by-half box scores. Iowa had just 4 first-half turnovers, and there's your explanation, right? 13 in the second half is too many, right, Kachine? Now, I don't know how many of those came in the fourth quarter. They had too many in the third as well. Let me just pull it up here. So third quarter turnovers, Iowa totaled 6 in the third alone, all right? Too many. Way too many for a quarter, right? So do the math there. You're on pace if you do that every quarter for 24 turnovers in a game. Fourth quarter, Iowa with 7 in the fourth quarter. And then in overtime, did Iowa have any In overtime, no. Iowa had 0 turnovers in a 5-minute overtime period. Cash.
I told you they got back to what they was doing before.
Yeah. So what is the ultimate key to getting back to what you were doing earlier in a game and overcoming that elephant that's got to be in your mind of, man, we just blew a 17-point lead? Like
your mindset has to be it's 0-0. That doesn't matter. What happened prior does not matter. It is 0-0, and we have 5 minutes to win a basketball game. That's it. And you built a 17-point lead at some point. So 5 minutes, not that much time. So we got to get back to being intentional about every aspect. We got to be intentional about every possession in that aspect. And I think that's what they did in the second or in overtime.
Just so everybody's aware, we've got a final almost in for Oklahoma and South Carolina. The Gamecocks on the verge of losing.
Go, Jenny.
First conference game, yeah.
Go, Jenny!
Former Hawkeye, Jenny. How do you say her last name? I always forget. Former Hawkeye.
Jenny Lewis. That's a lot.
About to take the Sooners to a victory over the second-ranked Gamecocks. That'll be South Carolina's first loss in conference. All right, we're wrapping this thing up. We've got 3 callers on the line. We got John here joining us. John, welcome to our show.
Hi, John.
Hey, Kachine, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Just called in to say go Hawks. Out here on the road driving my big truck.
Wow, look.
Thank you.
Couldn't watch it.
Where are you
So
headed,
I had
John?
to go by the little computer thing, and I was dying the whole time in that fourth quarter. I didn't know what to do.
I bet you are.
Wait a minute. You had to go buy a computer thing. What are you talking about?
No, I had to watch the little, the live update thingy, sports thing.
So you weren't watching the game you were just following it.
Right, just following it, and I'm like, geez, they're up 17. What could go wrong, right?
Right.
And then slowly but surely, there it goes. And I'm
Like I
like,
said,
my God.
That's a pretty normal response when you're up 17 with under 3 minutes to go, right? I mean, is it
It
possible?
is. It is.
Possible, Kachine, to not even as a player, to not sort of let your guard down a little bit? Isn't that pretty normal when you're up 17?
It is. Especially being up 17 with so little time left, yeah.
And you're up the whole game. Now you've widened it out to 17. We got this in the bag. You got to be saying that to yourself in the back of your head,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it can snowball fast.
And then you start trying to protect it, and then everything goes wrong. As soon as you start thinking about it and trying to protect, oh, geez, what are they doing? Come on, we got to do this, we got to do that, and then all of a sudden everything falls apart. It's an age-old tale in sports.
Snowball effect, John.
It is. It always has been. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Chit Chat played great. Without Journey coming in and doing her thing, we wouldn't even have been in it if they'd come back like that. So I don't know. I thought it was a good game on the road.
Phenomenal win, John. I mean, there's
For sure.
Again, some of this can easily be overlooked, and I can promise you, we're not trying to overlook the positives here. The reality is, it's a phenomenal win for the resume. Some people are going to say Maryland is down this year, and to some extent, I guess you could say that's true. But they are, a top 15 team as of right now. Here are the final stats. I'm going to slide up here to the top. And Iowa won this game in spite of only shooting 46% from the field, but they shot the ball really well from three, from the foul line. And again, this is all about defense until that fourth quarter. I mean, we could parcel this out, but how about just period by period? Held the Terps to 31% from the field in the first, no threes. Held them to 40% in the second, 1 3. Held them to 25% in the third, 1 3. And then in the fourth quarter, right, the snowball effect, they give up 58% from the field, but then they bounce back in overtime and hold the Terps to 0 for 3 from 3, 2 of 8. That's good for 25% from the field overall in OT. And so, yeah, on the road, final, even with that fourth quarter, it was ugly, holding Maryland to 38% from the field, 5 of 21 from 3, breaking even on turnovers. You look at rebounding, yeah, Iowa was -5, but you can live with that, can't you, Kachine, against Maryland on the road?
Absolutely.
I mean, we talked about the effort they put in, and I don't know what the plus minus there was throughout, but my guess is it was basically even until that late push in the fourth.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I mean, you got to give the girls some credit. I mean, they could have really fell apart and lost. But
yeah,
they fell apart, but they didn't fall apart enough to lose the lead and go into overtime, and then they dominated the overtime.
I'd be curious to know what the data says, Kachine, on losing a big lead and a game going to overtime when you lose a big lead. My guess is, I could be wrong on this, right? I could be wrong on this, but my guess is normally the team that made the run to get to overtime wins. But the opposite could be true. Sometimes you're gassed because you gave everything to get back in the game.
Yep.
You don't win it in regulation. I remember Iowa, Tennessee men's basketball, 5 or 6 years ago when Iowa came back, they were down 20+ in that game against the Vols in the second round of the NCAA tournament. And they had a chance to win it in regulation, could not, and then they lost in overtime. It just felt like they had given everything they had. And I don't know, maybe some of that happened to Maryland tonight, Kachine. I mean, part of it was foul trouble.
They
but
was
you
tired, for sure.
Yeah, you expend a lot if you come back from 17 down with 3 minutes to go.
Well, yeah, and then you get overjoyed, and then you think you're going to get it, and then you go out there with all that extra confidence you haven't had all game, and it blows up in your face. You forget to do what you did when you were getting down back from 17 down, right? That all goes out the window, and you forget it. So I mean, it's just you're on the road too. And so, I mean, I thought it was a good game. And then, Hannah and Chit Chat, both over 40 minutes.
Yeah, 43 minutes for Hannah and 43 for Chit Chat. That's unbelievable.
It is.
It really is.
Right. I was pretty impressed by that. But
you need both of those players to play a lot of minutes. And there was a time where Hannah struggled with foul trouble. Not tonight. And not this year. 3 personal fouls for Hannah. Chastity doesn't have issues with foul trouble. 1 personal foul on Chit Chat.
Right.
John, we appreciate. Be safe on the road, okay? We need you to keep calling.
Yeah, I had to pull over. The guy just couldn't handle drive, so I pulled over for the night. But yeah. How they are. I mean, the girls, that fourth quarter hits and they just, Jan wants to slow everything down and run time off the clock. And I swear to God, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. And the Miami Dolphins are number one at just letting the team right back into it. They just did every time. And because they get tentative and then they start trying to protect it. And then once you start trying to protect and you're not playing free, you're done.
Yep.
And so we know how that, and they're young. So I mean, Chit Chat's first year here.
Better to learn in a win than in a loss, John.
Right, and we just got to remember, you ain't never going to have another Caitlin Clark, probably. Or
not probably. Not.
Yeah, Lisa would tell her, okay, it's coming up on the end of the half. Slow it down. Let's run the clock. Caitlin would run right down and shoot a logo 3.
Yep.
That's just, and then and then Lisa would just shrug her shoulder. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what she did. So.
Yeah.
All right, John. We appreciate you calling in, sir.
Good. Go Hawks.
Yep. You too. Go Hawks. Absolutely.
Right,
be safe out there. All right. Appreciate John calling in. Sheila, thank you for the super chat. Why is it so hard to play at Maryland? Okay, thank you for that. Didn't seem to be full. Oh.
Maryland is just hard to play there. It's not the arena.
Why is there nobody at the game?
Why is there? Why would there be?
They're a women's basketball program.
Just because they're a women's basketball program does not mean that people support a women's basketball program in Maryland.
Man, that took me back. I mean, that took me back to like the Kachine.
They're playing a top 10 team in the country who has not lost in the Big Ten. That was despicable.
That's crazy. When I saw that,
you can't blame it on the weather because we ain't got none yet.
No, and it was a 5 p.m. tip here, but it was 6 p.m. there.
Yep. I mean, that is a little early.
Still a little early.
Just getting off work.
I guarantee you, if it tipped off at 5 p.m. in Iowa City, that stadium would have been full regardless.
That's a fact. The Iowa Hawkeyes are the best. Duh.
Bo, thank you for reminding everybody. Hit that like button, folks. If you're here, it does mean a lot. And this has officially gone final. OU over South Carolina, the second-ranked Gamecocks go down by a final count of 94-82.
Boy, that SEC is crazy.
Yeah. SEC is better than the Big Ten.
The SEC is the best in the country.
Yeah, it is.
Hands down.
Agree. Mike says getting cash to compliment Kylie on anything is like pulling teeth on a chicken. Don't count
Hey, Mike, were you not here when I complimented her on her leadership in the overtime? No?
Hey, pulling teeth on a chicken. See,
rewind.
I learned these different, phrases that I never have heard before. So, by the way, David Alexander says it's because of the 6 p.m. drive,
Had to have been, 'cause
DC traffic. Yeah, I mean, I usually just think where there's a will, there's a way. Jody says, how long is Emily suspended? She's not.
She's not suspended.
Emily Rodriguez is hurt. She's not suspended. Tina says, from your experience as a player, how does parent drama on social media affect the team? Social media wasn't as big when you were playing. What advice would you give current players on how to support their daughters, parents on how to support their daughters without becoming a headline? Great question. We kind of addressed it last show.
That's a two-part. The first one would be, it depends on the player. Like if the player is not giving it anything and bringing it to the team, then there is nothing. If the player is bringing it to the team, then that becomes a problem. As far as parents are concerned, just deal with your daughter and keep her accountable. That's it. Literally all you can do. Keep her accountable in her work ethic, what she does on the floor, what she does when nobody's watching, etc. Are you getting extra shots up before and after practice? Are you in there? Taylor McCabe was out there after the game last game. Was somebody else out there with her? No. So there you go.
Tom, you sound like people last year. Please don't be that guy. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but just it doesn't. I don't know what you accomplished.
No, she's not a MAC player.
So Tom Clark, for people who are on the podcast on Spotify, and by the way, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, give us a 5-star rating or a review. It does really help the podcast, please, in advance. Tom says Strimlo will transfer to the MAC. She is not a Big Ten player. Well, she's not transferring to the MAC. Okay, so that's not happening. I heard the same thing last year with Aaliyah Guyton. Now, Guyton's not playing well at Illinois, but that does not mean that if she does transfer, and I don't know that she's going to, that does not mean that she wouldn't find a Power 4 home somewhere. So I heard people, remember last year when Aaliyah was entering the transfer portal and there were people literally saying she was not going to be able to find a D1 home? I remember sending that to you. I'm like, are these people serious right now? Like, are we that delusional that we think because they rejected Iowa, so I'm going to reject them? Like, is that our mindset here? Like, that's not reality. So Taylor Strimlo, whether you like her or not, likely is not going anywhere because I think her role is only going to expand once Taylor McCabe is gone. Yes, I know Addie Deal is here, but again, there's more guard.
She's still ahead of that. She can be, at least, if she wants to be.
Steeler Chick, thank you for reminding us. Hit that like button. Timothy says, Cash, do they teach the post to not run the baseline when the other team is pressing? Hannah never made easy passing angles for herself.
That depends on if it's alive or dead. So, I mean, yes, but it also
ran
depends.
The baseline one of the times.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say one of Hannah's turnovers should not have been a turnover because the girl reached her hand out of bounds.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Adam Vink says, y'all are spoiled. We're 8-0 in the Big Ten. We're young. We don't have CC. We're literally learning on the job, winning every game. Maryland is ranked for a reason, yet we went on their court. I don't know why you watch the show if you don't want to hear criticism.
That is so fantastic, and I'm so happy about that. However, we've played the worst teams in the Big Ten until the last 2 games.
We're very happy for you. We're very happy for you. And for the team for being 8-0. I mean, I'm
very happy for them.
It's unbelievable.
It's going to get a lot harder.
It is going to get harder. Timothy,
but 8-0 is fantastic.
Yep. Would it be possible for Iowa to use Deal or Emily when she returns as the high man in the high-low action? I think Hannah and Ava, high-low is predictable and easy to stop at this point.
No, because they can't guard nobody.
Yeah, I don't see those two playing on the court much at the same time.
Yeah, I guess they can play on the court, but the high-low is with 2 post players. So that would mean one of them has to play the 4.
Well, I'm not saying that playing on the court at the same time from a positional standpoint, but just, I don't know, do you trust those 2 on the court at the same time? Like
if Chit Chat's not on there.
Yeah, if Chit Chat's running the point, maybe. Yeah. And then Hawkeye says, why would they sub while we're rolling? Ava cannot play aggressive with 4 fouls, and Journey in that unit was rolling. Would have wanted to maybe sub Ava around 2:30 if we could have gotten away with it. Again, point taken.
I wouldn't have subbed her in at all if Journey could have made it the rest of the way.
All right, we're going to finish up with these 2 calls. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine. Alexander, who's on the line?
Hey, this is.
We're going to finish up with these 2 calls. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine.
Hey, this is Jay from North Carolina.
Hey, Jay, how are you?
Hey, Cash, how you doing? And
hi. I hope you're all ready for the storm.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so awesome. It'll be reminiscent of Iowa days.
I know. Well, yeah, I actually made a social media about that today. I was like, my ice storm days. I thought I passed those. Like, no.
You said 3 inches.
Here we are.
3 inches of ice, Cash.
That's what they said.
That's
yeah. I had to go get myself a little generator.
What my idea was to foul, like when we have a 3-point lead, instead of just choking like the Hawkeyes always do, is just go ahead and foul and put them on the line. What about that?
Well, we said
this is very true.
We addressed that earlier. I know you've been on hold for a while. The only thing that I would say in defense of Iowa in that situation is, do you really want to extend the game as the team leading when your team is not doing a good enough job handling the ball, inbounding the ball, getting to the line with the players you want to shoot free throws with? They had already given up a 17-point lead in that situation. But I'm not saying it was the wrong play to foul up 3. A lot of coaches would have done that. You certainly don't go under the screen. I think that's the cardinal error.
And I don't think anybody thought that Kylie would be the one to do that. Like, I was shocked, because in my mindset, I'm thinking she's going to be like, pressure, that case and Aaron, because that's what she's good at. So the lackadaisicalness in that play that's not typical of her. So I don't think anybody would have thought that she would give up a 3 like that. Definitely not Coach J. So her mind was, okay, let's roll the dice. They're not a great 3-point shooting team. If we stick to, I'm not even going to attempt to say that girl's name. The one that fell really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we, make sure we stay tight to her, we should be good to go, because nobody else is shooting like that.
Well, yeah, again, going back, I don't know if you even remember the UConn Final Four game, but do yourself a favor and replay that game. And Hannah had 2 turnovers in the last minute. So, I mean, I think if Cash is the head coach and we don't have Jan coaching, like she's coaching a game like she's on crack, and we have no game plan at all, then we would have won that game by 7 points. I mean, why not have Hayden inbound the ball? You know what I mean? I mean, get Smokey out of there. She can't inbound, and she's too lackadaisical on the passes. I mean, we talked about this last time, and it's coming to fruition.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with a lot of what you just said. I mean, Cash and I disagree on who should have been inbounding the ball, but the
problem is we really don't have anybody to get inbound the ball. Let's call it what it is.
There's nobody left.
We stressing out about it.
They don't have a great option in that situation, and they had great options. They had great options during the Caitlin era. Like Kate Martin was really good. Is
Stremlo a great 3-point? I mean, not 3-point. Is she a good free throw shooter?
I think I'll look up her. I'm not going to say anything because
she's like 70%.
Yeah, let me look it up. Now you're going to backtrack and say, "Oh, yeah, she's 70."
No, that wasn't my point. My other option was my other option was to put Chit Chat inbounding the basketball and have Stremlo, McCabe, and Kylie.
The only way
I don't know if any of them are going to actually want the ball. Like that's,
the only way the only way I'd trust Chit Chat inbounding the ball late in a situation like that is if she has the freedom to run the baseline. Because if it's a spot out of bounds, she's tiny.
I understand, but tiny is also good because you can get lower. But because you're already lower to the ground. But yeah, the problem is we don't have a solution. Let's go. Either way, there's a problem.
Just so you're aware, Taylor Strimlow is a 76% free throw shooter on her career, 2 years. This year, though, she's shooting just 68%. Now, she hasn't gotten to the line a lot this year, but
She hasn't.
those are the numbers.
Well, I still take it. I'll take it.
Anything else, sir?
Right. Well, I also think that we could run the baseline. I don't even understand why Jan isn't talking to them about writing up that last play or talking to them about running the baseline on the last, when the ball goes in the hoop, like going back to the Brad Lohaus, BJ Armstrong, Roy Marble, good old days. They run the baseline and get the ball in. I mean, why isn't Stokey running the baseline? Hello?
Well, she did one of the inbounds passes. She
One
did.
time.
I don't know, say run the baseline. She was moving the baseline, but yeah.
You got to remember, in order for you to run a baseline, there has to be some kind of play.
Right.
Like, because if you're running the baseline and the people who are trying to get open don't know what the heck you doing, then it's a mess.
Why don't more teams employ what Fran McCaffrey did so well at Iowa with the toss to a different, like a player runs toward the baseline, he ends up out of bounds, and then you toss it to him out of bounds. That player gets the ball back.
Bluter used to do that. We ran that.
I'm surprised. Well, maybe that's something that Jan needs to employ. Is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought they were going to do it when Chit Chat took the ball out of bounds. I swear I thought she was about to do it because Hannah ran, but then stopped. She didn't go out of bounds, and I was like, "What are we doing?" So I thought
it would make sense. It would make sense to have Chit Chat back there and to do it with her, and then she can get the ball back.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yep. All right, sir. Thank you for the call. We appreciate you being here. Be safe down in North Carolina this week.
Yeah, you be safe too, Cash, and thanks, Corey. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. You too. All right, we go to what I think is going to be our final caller of the night. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hello?
Hello, you're on the air.
How long they been on hold?
Yeah, I ain't going to even say it. I'm not.
How long have they been on hold, Corey?
A long time. A long time. I don't even want to. It's almost. I can't even say it because it's almost embarrassing for me to say it. Not embarrassing to the caller.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, that's tragic.
We can always call him back. That might be the easiest. Should we just call him back?
Oh, that's fun. Can you do that?
Okay. Hey. All right. Let's see if we can get this caller that.
We can call people back.
Sure, we can call people back. Should we do that?
Corey, how are you just not telling me this 3 years later? Like what?
Wait. They're calling right now. Here we go.
Oh,
all right. They called us back. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine. We got you.
Hello?
Hey, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Annie from New York.
Hey, Annie.
See?
How you guys doing? I love the show. Got to ask your opinion on something.
Okay.
I think Houston needs more playing time. I mean, she got 10 points in 12 minutes. What's your opinion of her as a player? Because I'm impressed with her. I think she needs more playing time.
I've been saying this for a while, so I'm with you, Annie. Honestly speaking, she needs to take the little minutes that Layla got, in my opinion. Unless we're playing some massive team, then we might have to figure that out. But yeah, that's my substitution would be Journey in for Hannah. Hannah in for, and then that'll be the first substitution. Journey goes in for Hannah, and then Hannah comes in for, my goodness, Ava. And then keep rolling like that. Because I just, Layla ain't doing nothing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. Your initial question was on Journey getting more playing time. She has not been playing great. Like, until tonight, she hasn't been playing great. Now, neither has Layla, but I almost wonder if the staff is still getting used to trusting Ava Hayden to not be in foul trouble. So if you just play Ava these stag-like minutes, you're just asking for foul trouble. She was so foul-prone early in Big Ten play. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I agree. Layla's not playing well. You want to get Journey more minutes. So now maybe there's an opportunity to do that. You can go small and play Journey some minutes at the 4. You move Hannah to the 5, and she eats some of Layla's minutes. I think that's what you're saying, Kachine. But until recently, I don't really think either one of those freshmen were playing all that great.
I'm a big fan of Chit Chat. I think she's pretty good in the clutch. Every time she's out there, she's so quick, and she just seems to spark that team. I'm just a Chit Chat fan. I love her.
I think we all are. I think we all are. And she.
I don't think there's a single Hawkeye fan who don't love her.
She just looks like she sparks that team up. She's quick. She's a clutch shooter. She's good from the line. I don't know.
That 1-3 was insane. The one where she was like floating to the right.
Yeah, absolutely.
With like 3 seconds up on the. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, we got
when we're in the clutch, I would go and Chit Chat all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention that half-court miracle shot. That was
I gotta get one of them shirts. Shoot that shit. I gotta get that. I don't know where that's at, but I need one of those. And nobody's gonna know what the heck I'm talking about in North Carolina, but it don't even matter.
Her only problem.
That's clever.
Chit Chat's only problem that reared its ugly face at the end of regulation is she has a hard time getting the ball off when it's totally contested, right? I mean, if she doesn't,
for sure,
like she should not have been the person shooting with 2 seconds left because she didn't have time to create, and so then she's not able to get a shot off without it getting blocked.
Correct. I don't even know who we. Honestly,
that was a tough situation because you have 2 seconds, no timeouts. I would have probably said if I was Jan in that situation, first of all, I'm looking at Abby Stamp saying, do we have a lob play? Do we have a lob play?
Yeah, you got something going to the rim.
Yep. So I'd
because
say
whoever it was on, I think it was Hannah taking the ball out.
Yes.
So
Ava,
it should have been a one-on-one scenario at the rim, in my opinion.
No. It was Kylie had the inbounds pass.
So where the heck was Hannah?
I don't know where Hannah was, but Kylie had the inbounds pass on that play. Because I remember at one point, like there had been, the officials. I don't know if they do the whole arm move still, but I think the clock was probably at like 4.5 when she got it in.
Yeah.
And I saw Kylie do like kind of going like this, like I got to get the ball in. But yeah, you got to get that ball with someone grazing toward the rim. The other thing I'd say is, I know again, split second decision, but I'm not even, you know what? I was going to say something that would have been really controversial, and maybe I shouldn't say it because I would think about putting Addie in that situation. And maybe I'll just say it because
I would have took Hannah out in that situation. What's she doing?
You know who else I'd put in that situation?
Oh,
Tegan Mullaney.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy. Don't sit here and tell me I'm crazy.
Absolutely not.
I won't even explain
what?
It. She just fine.
For who? For who? For who?
Okay, don't tell me for who.
I'm asking for who. Who are you putting Tegan Mullaney in the game for?
Well, honestly, and this is going to make you even more mad, and you're setting me up for this. I might put her in for Chit Chat, and I'll tell you why.
You have lost your.
Listen, there's 2 seconds left in the game. You're tied. We just acknowledged that Chit Chat's going to have a hard time creating her own shot with 2 seconds. She's not your inbounds passer, and what do you know? She got blocked in that situation. So,
there was no actual play.
Right. So if there's no actual play, you want somebody who can get a shot off contested.
Corey, that's not Chit Chat.
I'm just saying. Tired. I'm actually not tired. She is not going to be able to get a contested shot off. Explain to me.
And Tegan is
right now. Hey, tell me right now.
She won't even be able to get open.
She doesn't need to be open. That's the point. Tell me how Chit Chat.
No. She will not be able to get the basketball. Tegan is not fast.
She's saying
easily guarded.
Fast. Nobody's saying that. What I'm simply
saying.
How's
she going to shoot the ball?
Okay. Corey, all I'm saying, you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. This is my opinion.
Tegan is crazy. That is so far fetched. I would have said Addie Deal, Stremlo, anybody.
By the way, can I just say this? So I know to a lot of people that might be a crazy take, but that's not as crazy. Like when you watch basketball in the NBA, where you see that happen at times. At times, a guy who hasn't played like hardly any minutes will come in at the end of a game or end of a quarter because they just need him for 3-point purposes. We've seen Iowa men's basketball do that with.
Yeah, but she has to be a 3-point shooter to do so.
She is a 3-point shooter.
No, she's not. No, absolutely not.
She is.
According to what's the stats?
I'm just telling you whether she's not.
No. What's the stats, Corey?
Okay, I'll find the stats.
What is the stats? Because you can't be a 3-point shooter if you're not actually making threes. That's like anybody saying, I'm a 3-point shooter. I'm a 3-point shooter. Like, Nah, you
Well,
can't.
I'm just saying
She's not a
that's what
three-point
she's
shooter.
supposed to do. That's what she's supposed to be good at.
Well, I'll take the stats. The stats
So-
tell me everything I need to know.
Allow me to just finish my take, and then we can move on. I'm just telling you my
Lord
opinion,
Jesus.
and it's just an idea.
Addie Deal, I would have took because she's been red hot.
Okay, let me
Mhm.
explain it again. With 2 seconds left, my belief is that Chit Chat Wright, I think she's maybe the best player on the team behind Ava Hayden. I love her, right? But I just believe with 2 seconds, it's going to be really hard for her to get a shot off because she can't create in 2 seconds off the dribble. She doesn't have time to create with 2 seconds off the dribble. What happened? She caught the ball, tried to take a shot. She got blocked. So in that situation, I want height rolling to the rim, and I want people who can get a shot off who have decent size. Taylor McCabe, Addie Deal, Tegan Mullaney. Add in Hannah Stokey, Ava Hayden. There's my 5 with 2 seconds. I'm just throwing an idea out there. You don't have to like it.
Did you put Tegan Mullaney in over Strumlow?
No, I wouldn't put Strimlow in the game in that situation. Why am I putting Strimlow? She's undersized too. And she can create off the dribble, but
Strumlow can get a shot off more than
how? But how could she?
Okay, hold on. Let's be logical here. Tegan Mullaney has not made a 3-point shot since her freshman year, in my opinion. Damn
Dylan in the chat, I love you, but when you say the show's gone off the rails, Tegan for Chit Chat, there's no context to what you just said. We're talking about a 2-minute segment at the end of the game.
2 seconds. And we know
2 second segment.
That's how crazy the take
it also happens with really big guys. Sometimes you see in the NBA a 7-footer who doesn't play at all. He comes in at the very end of the game. Boban Marjanovic did it for the Mavs all the time because they wanted somebody at the rim who could get a tip play in.
Right. This is not the same thing.
Oh, but the principle behind it is the same thing, Kachine.
Principle, but with the right person.
So as I'm saying, when I'm just
if I had a 3-point shooter sitting on the bench, that'd be different.
I believe that Tegan
my girl is shooting like 10%.
Okay, so we can at least agree that if she was a 3-point shooter,
then I could agree with you.
And so we just disagree on whether she's a 3-point shooter or not.
She's
I believe that's the one thing that I think right now her confidence, my guess is her confidence is so low, but that's the one thing I think she still thinks she can do is shoot a 3. That's all I'm saying. And I just don't have any confidence in Chit Chat, 5'4" Chit Chat Wright getting a shot off with 2 seconds.
Yeah, I would have went Stremlow, Addie Deal. If you're gonna do the whole Chit Chat thing, I'm still keeping Chit Chat in the game. But if you want to go that route, I would take Stremlow and Addie Deal because at least Stremlow could give a nice little step back and give you something.
2 seconds, though, man. You can get a step back in 2 seconds, but it better be fluid, right?
I could trust Stremlow to do a step back that's fluid. She's done it before.
Yeah,
so,
she has.
Yeah, I could trust that. But Tegan is so far fetched. I'll probably put in what's her face over her. What's that girl name?
Denise.
Nah,
Jimfy?
the other one.
Jimfy?
No.
Who? Jimfy? Denise? Callie Levine.
Yeah, that one.
She's not a 3-point shooter.
Listen, she's fast. I'll figure something out. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't have even drawn up a play for a shot outside the paint anyways. I would have drawn up a play solely for Ava. I would put all them shooters in there, and then it would have decoyed everything. And I went straight down to the paint.
I admit that my take is out there, all right, but I don't think it's as crazy as some people might think it is.
That just gave me a headache.
Hey, anything else before we let you slide, Annie?
It is crazy.
No, I just thought that Houston should get a little more playing time to develop into a good player because, I was impressed with 10 points in 12 minutes. And like I said, Chit Chat, I rely on her in the clutch. Oh, it was really nice seeing Coach Bluter, too. That was really nice.
She looks so different on
really
TV
nice.
for her.
Yeah, she looks really different.
What's her hair?
Retirement
She looks all dolled up.
Agree with her. She looked very relaxed and she looked good. Good for her. But like I said, at Houston, she impressed me tonight. I just wish they could give her a little more time and develop her, with the team and get into the scheme of things. Yep. But other than that, look, a win is a win. They pulled it through.
Absolutely.
That's
we don't
it.
disagree.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
Stay warm.
You too. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Alexander. Who's on the line?
You done riled them up.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my name is Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
I was wondering, with all the weaknesses, what he said our team has, are they overachieving at 17-2, or are they? While there's some people that think that Iowa's going to make it to the Final Four, which
definitely
not. Well, I will say they are 8-0 in league play. That is the definition of overachieving. Because
absolutely,
I know it was a soft start to the conference season, but there's nobody like if the Big Ten media or Big Ten coaches had to poll preseason as to what everybody in the conference's record would be 8 games in, nobody would have Iowa 8-0. So
nobody.
By definition, they are overachieving.
100%.
Well, I'm just trying to end your show on a good note.
No, this is all good. Hey.
Well, I know, but
yeah.
Well, at least I didn't really get to watch the game because it's on Peacock, but at least I listened to it on the radio.
Yeah. No. And unfortunately, the game on Sunday is on Peacock as well, which is. By the way, do you have NBC Sports Network? Because it was also on NBC Sports Network today.
No, I got cable, but that's it.
Well, NBC Sports Network is included in a lot of cable packages. So,
yeah.
Anyways, folks need to check that out because we had touted that it was on NBC. That was a clerical error, not on my part, but on Iowa and ESPN's part. Maryland's website did explain that it was NBC Sports Network, but we hashed this out Tuesday night with Mark Rogers. Him and I were talking about this but it did say NBC on ESPN and on Iowa's website, but it was NBC Sport. So I don't know if all the Peacock games are simulcasted on NBC Sports Network, but NBCSN is a cable channel. So I don't know about like the major providers, Mediacom, Dish, DirecTV, because I don't have any of those. But I think a lot of those do carry NBC Sports Network now. So
definitely overachieving, though.
Anything
Definitely overachieving.
I don't know. Listen to you guys anyway, but
say that again.
I said, well, you guys. At least I love your show, and of course I love the Iowa Hawkeye women. Why was there nobody in the stands at all today?
They're not the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Empty.
Yeah, I guess because there's just less support out there, and somebody made a comment about DC traffic at 5.
The timing did suck.
The timing
was horrible.
It was good for Iowa, but not for them.
Yeah, the timing was terrible.
Well, yeah, but if that was a Carver-Hawkeye, it still would have been full.
That's what I said.
They would have figured it out.
100%.
I'm leaving work early, something. I would have figured it out.
Ricky, we appreciate you calling in, sir.
Yep.
All right, you take care.
But I think that's the difference, though. Is like Iowa fans, it's a priority to watch Iowa women's basketball. With other fans, it's a convenience, right? Like in the sense of like, oh, if it's convenient to go, I'll go, right? But it's not like, no, I gotta get there.
I think fans also, with the success and the cost of tickets, I think any opportunity to see Iowa, they view it as a privilege too. It's not just a priority; it's also a privilege.
Yeah.
We had 2 latecomers. Cash, do you have time to take 2 more calls?
Because you don't rile everybody up with this TN nonsense.
I didn't rile anybody up. Come on now.
Yes, you did. We didn't have no callers on the line until you said that mess.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. We've got our caller on the phone line. We've got Erica as well. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
This is Chris. Can you hear me?
We got you, Chris.
Oh, okay. Hey, I got a story to tell you. So I am sure I'm the only Iowa fan. Cash was just talking about Iowa fans turn out for Iowa games. I'm sure I was the only Iowa fan watching the Iowa game from the Michigan State USC women's game in East Lansing tonight.
Okay.
I got there early to try to get an autograph of Juju Watkins. And guess what? I got the autograph of Juju Watkins. I got the W. So I'm a happy man. I just wanted to share that.
Well, congratulations.
See what I'm saying? Iowa fans, they make it happen. One way or another, they're going to figure it out.
And that win against
Go
Michigan.
Hawks! Go Hawks!
Go Hawks! Thanks for the call. Hey, that win for Iowa over Michigan State the other day. Michigan State won today. I mean, I know USC is not full strength.
Doesn't matter. I'll take it.
But that's going to be a good win. I mean, both of these last 2 wins for Iowa, Maryland on the road, Michigan State at home, good wins.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to our phone line. We got Erica here with us. Erica, thanks for joining us for the basketball show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So, as I said, I think on one of the football shows, I'm not as much of an expert in basketball, so please be patient with me in my takes.
Okay. We're just glad you're here.
Thank you. So I wasn't even going to say anything. Like, I was already in the queue when the discussion about Tegan ensued, but Corey, man, like, I'm sorry, but why? Like, did you let that Twitter post get to your head?
I explained why. Did you hear the explanation as to why?
Yeah, but
Okay, time out real quick. Let me just say something. Because Kachine can do this because she's, whatever. But if you're going to disagree with the comment, that's fine. But at least give me an explanation as to why. If it's just because Tegan stinks, she can't shoot threes. Okay, I mean, fine. I mean, the numbers say you're right. She's not shooting threes well.
That's exactly the reasoning.
Okay,
if she
fine.
can't do it, then why would you put her in?
Well, I just explained it because it doesn't matter if Chit Chat's a good
Corey
three-point
thinks
shooter.
she's a 3-point shooter, Erica.
No, if Chit Chat can't get a shot
And if
off.
we say so, if just because we say something that makes it true, even though the stats are different.
What did I just tell you? If Chit
We all
Chat
three-point
can't
shooters.
get a shot off, I don't care if she's an 80% three-point shooter. If she doesn't have enough time to create an open look, it doesn't matter. That's
No,
my-
that's-
I didn't.
a valid
Hold
point.
on. I didn't say that Chit Chat should be the one.
no.
Never
but
did I
Chit-
say that.
No, listen, Erica. She was on the floor
I understand.
and she
So
took
instead
the
of-
last shot and got blocked.
I saw it. I watched the game. I saw that.
Right.
And
So
this isn't why. And for the record, this isn't why I called in because, like I said, that whole thing came about when I was already in the queue. So I do have something else after.
and you brought it back up. I wasn't gonna.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind like talking about it. You know me. If I disagree, I say it. We've agreed and disagreed over the years. I have no problem stating my opinion and having a discussion. But no, I mean, I would put Stremlo before Tegan by a mile. I would put Addie Dill in there by a mile before, like 5 miles actually in the case of Addie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I would. I agree with that. But you got to have 5 out there. That's the only reason I brought up Tegan's name.
Yeah, but there's others. I mean, I'm not saying only put them. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, I don't trust. I'm sorry. I trust those other two before I would trust Tegan to go in there.
So I guess it depends on what action you're running. My concern here is the other part of this. So with 2 seconds, 0 timeouts. The whole reason we got this whole idea brought up, Kachine, and you can attest to this, is because we knew Iowa, unless they had a play ready from Abby Stamp with no timeouts, the ball got knocked out of bounds. There was no timeout to draw up a play. So then it's like, okay, this is kind of like backyard basketball now, right? So if it's backyard basketball, I don't know, do you want Hannah and Ava rolling it to the rim at the same time, trying to create action toward the rim? Do you want an undersized player like Chit Chat who's probably not going to be able to get a shot off contested when it's backyard basketball with 2 seconds? If you have a chance to draw up a play, then I'd probably not do anything different. But they didn't have a chance to draw up a play. So I'm just saying if it's backyard basketball, I want people who can get a shot off, and I want shooters in general. And I don't know that I want 2 post players in the paint. I don't know.
I don't want 2 post players in the paint.
So then that means you take either Ava or Hannah. Probably Ava.
Hannah is coming out.
You think Hannah's coming out? Okay, fine.
Because Hannah can't. I don't trust her to make a layup.
Okay, so if Hannah's coming out, then that opens up another spot. So Ava's in the game to roll to the rim in that situation, backyard basketball. Then Addie, right? That's 2. Then you're saying Stremlo. There's 3. If I'm not playing Chit Chat, who else am I playing?
Kylie and Taylor McCabe.
Okay, Taylor McCabe, 100%. And so then the debate, I guess, would be, you can only have 4 potential shooters there because one's got to be inbounding the ball. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with what you just said. I guess the reason I brought up Mulaney's name is maybe you put Mulaney in for Stremlo in this situation because Mulaney's got better size. But that was why I brought it up, because it was an unorthodox situation with 2 seconds. That's the only reason I brought it up.
I guess one point, the only point I could think of for Tegan going in that instance is because she hadn't been in the entire game. She hasn't showed much film this season. Maryland wouldn't know what to expect of her. So maybe they'd leave her open. There's an outside chance of that, I guess, if you want to be strategic. But
Ain't nobody
I
doing
don't know.
nothing
I don't even know if I buy that myself, frankly. And I just said it.
Yeah.
Well, Erica, what did you call in for?
It was more of a question. And I hope I didn't offend anyone by my takes on Teagan. I apologize if I did. But I did want to ask, to me, and again, I'm not an expert in women's basketball at all. To me, the last 3 minutes, or during the time actually when the slip started to occur, I think some of them were tired, and I think that causes less attention to detail and less grittiness, et cetera, et cetera. So do you guys think that maybe, and maybe this was discussed earlier, but do you guys think that maybe they should have subbed people in sooner before the slip just got nuts? Like, and also I agree on the take about Journey being the one to stay in, by the way, too. I agree with that 100% because I've been advocating for all season.
I think it's hard to predict that your team is going to give up a 17-point lead with 4 or 5 minutes, 4 minutes, or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So that's hard to predict because nobody would actually think that. But like I said before, I do truly believe that transition from Journey to Ava completely shut everything down. We had a lot of momentum going into it. And then, like I said, it on top of the momentum piece, I do think that Ava was making a conscious effort not to foul. And she was literally giving up wide open post-ups. Like, she was not trying. She was not doing anything. She just kind of was like,
Hands
backing
up.
up. And the girl literally just was like,
yeah.
So I think that on top of the momentum killer, and as soon as you give a team like that any daylight, they start
They're
hitting
off to the
stuff they're not
races.
supposed to be hitting. They're rebounding harder. Their press is more aggressive. Like, it just becomes it's like a snowball. And at that point, as a coach, you don't want to put anybody in outside of your starting five in that situation because now you're terrified that it's going to be worse. Right? You want your starting five to be able to withstand it because they're your seniors. They're your team
leaders.
The group, that are supposed to be your leaders. So you don't want to make another change. Sometimes, though, you might have to have some guts and do it. But
I mean, I all that makes perfect sense. But I just think of all the times that I've heard on this show, and I've thought to myself, my own brain, like, the seniors aren't being very leader-esque. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I think that's another part of the issue. Like, we ended up okay tonight. We ended up on the right side tonight, but that might not always happen. Like, if we're playing another team that's more competitive than Maryland is right now, because Maryland's heavily injured, we might not have pulled it off. So, I mean, I think at that point, you need to get creative and maybe not be conventional and keep Journey in there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like I said, I'm no expert in women's basketball. I haven't been watching it nearly as long as I've been watching football. I usually call in for the football show.
You know what's creative and unconventional?
Oh, God.
Teagan.
I'm sorry.
That's what you're going to say, right?
I'm just saying, hey, creative and unconventional. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No.
Erica, I'm going to need you to stop saying that you're not as versed in whatever. Because every time you come on here, you say some of the smartest stuff that anybody calling in. So stop saying that, please. Sports is sports.
Thank
you. Understand sports.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're
I
welcome.
do appreciate that. But yeah, my final thought is I want to see more Journey. I really like her grit. She's like, her rebounding is out of this world. She's fantastic. And
they need to push her so much more, though. Oh,
that's true.
They need to push her. Like, she should be relentless on the offensive rebounding. Like, relentless.
She's not a finished product and she's a freshman, but she's still better at rebounding than some of the more senior players are.
I can agree with that. You know what I mean? I just want, it's my thing. Like, I see it, she has it, and that should be everything. Like, if you're in there, give her a goal.
And I also want to see her take more shots too. I feel like she's not doing that enough.
She does. She has her moments. Like, I thought I saw a little bit of different Journey today, like where she was being more aggressive and not just letting the ball come to her. Like, she was actually trying to make something happen. And I like that. I was like, oh, okay, I like this. It's nice.
See, I felt all season she had that dog in her, kind of, like, and the dog that I would expect out of Hannah. I feel like she has more of it, which is crazy because she's a freshman and Hannah's a senior. It shouldn't be that way, but I feel like it kind of is.
Can't wait to see Journey as a senior. I will say that.
Oh, she's going to be relentless.
Yeah, she's going to have so much confidence. She's going to have a little bit of swagger with her. I'm excited to see her.
Yeah, I just love it. And, just tonight and during Michigan State game, like, I think she has such potential. I agree with that 100%, but I think she's already considering she's a freshman, she's already pretty darn good at rebounding, and there's only more to come, so that's exciting.
Erica, we appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry if I came off tough on the Teagan take. I totally disagree with
Erica,
it.
you know who you're talking to?
It's
and Corey don't take nothing personal.
My apologies more for Corey than you, because I know you agree with me.
No, seriously, we don't take stuff personal like that.
Yeah, hey, you can rip me all you want. That's totally fine. I had a take on the old Bennett Sturts, Caitlin Clark thing, a month or two ago, and I kind of backed down off of that since then.
What was the take? I don't think I heard that one.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I see it. Don't worry. You sit right there.
What video
Corey
should I
said
watch?
The question was,
I backed down.
Was Caitlin Clark more important to Iowa women's basketball than Bennett Sturts is to men's basketball?
No, it was to her team.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
Was she more important to her team than Bennett is to the men's?
Yes.
Bennett Sturts is to the Iowa men and my
men's team.
And I backed down off that because I just early on in the year.
You said Bennett Sturts.
I said
You
Sturts.
said Bennett Sturts.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Let me explain.
Okay. I'm sorry.
At the time, keep in mind, Iowa men's basketball brought a bunch of Drake transfers over and a Robert Morris transfer and, a true freshman who's playing who had hardly any other Division I offers and trying to work through this guy who's a potential lottery pick in Bennett Sturts. And I just hadn't seen Iowa really work without Sturts. Like everything has had to run through Bennett Sturts. Now I've seen things run through other people. So obviously now I'm going to go with Caitlin Clark. My point at that time, kind of in a hyperbolic fashion, was to just emphasize that I don't know that there's anybody in the country that's more important to their team than Bennett Sturts is to Iowa. I've since backed down off that take because I've seen more to convince me otherwise. I just had more faith in Caitlin's teammates than I did in Bennett Sturts. It wasn't even a Sturts versus Clark thing. It was, I have more faith in Kate Martin, Gabby Marshall, McKenna Warnock, Monica Sanano than I did in Isaiah Howard. Do you see what I'm saying? Like when you explain it that way, Kachine, it doesn't sound as crazy.
That doesn't sound as
crazy. That's what you want to tell yourself.
I would still take Caitlin by a country mile because not only did it mean, something for when she was actually playing, but look at all the players we've gotten as a result of the era that we had.
That wasn't my. She knows that was not my claim. That wasn't my argument. That if you talk about anything other than how a single game pans out, then yes, obviously, like Caitlin is generational and impactful and pop culture and all this stuff, like greatest college player of all time, right? So I would, but context.
I mean, I have to tell you, I went to Japan last year, and I actually saw an Iowa Hawkeye cap, hat in Japan on sale. I couldn't believe it. I was floored.
Probably
I could not believe it. Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. I was floored. I could not believe it. Not believe it. Anyway, thanks so much for taking the call.
Thanks,
and
Erica.
We'll talk later.
Okay, we'll talk soon. Thank you, Erica. Corby in the chat says, what's going on with Emily Rodriguez? She's not suspended.
Hurt.
She's on the injury list, whether you believe that or not. Pam, last question goes to Pam. She says, with the coaches showing deficiencies, how does that affect the recruitment of 5- and 4-star players?
They're not thinking like that. None of them are.
Well,
They're only thinking about everything else.
What deficiencies are we talking about? Like late game decision making?
Substitutions.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
They're not thinking about that stuff. We are, but they're not thinking about that.
Right.
They're thinking about how much money we can give them, fan engagement.
Yeah. By the way, just for the record, I just looked
at the colors of the jerseys, gear.
It's not all about height, but I just wanted to bring this up on the Iowa website. Chastity Chit Wright, 5'4", Taylor Strimlow, 5'10", McCabe, 5'9", Callie Levine, 5'9", Addie Deal, 6 foot, Kylie Feuerbach, 6 foot, if I didn't already say that, and then Tegan Mulaney, 6'1". just to explain myself further. All right. The 10th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes defeat the 15th ranked Maryland Terrapins 85-78 at the Xfinity Center in College Park. In spite of blowing a 17-point lead with 2:55 remaining in the game, Iowa finds a way in overtime to win.
Baby.
Behind a really strong performance from a number of players, including Journey Houston. Ava Hayden got our Player of the Game award with 20 and 8. Chit Chat Wright had Big Row's big play of the day. And you also saw contributions from Chit Chat in critical moments. Hannah Stulke's rebounding 11 boards, and she created so many more rebounds than just those 11, right? With her ability to box out, the energy, and then let's see, really that's all. Journey Houston was really the big producer. I mean, hey, Taylor Strimlow did go 3 of 4, had 7 points.
There were some big threes. I mean, there's like two or three threes she definitely should have had.
Yeah,
she was wide open.
She was 1 of 2. Yeah, she was 1 of 2 from 3. I didn't think she played poorly. And again, just really impressive defense, rebounding through almost the entire game until those last 3 minutes. But got to get that corrected. It's shown itself now a couple of times, so that's a good time to fix this. They got a big time opponent coming up on Sunday, Ohio State. That game's back in Carver, thank goodness. But Kachine, give me keys to.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Let's hope you can actually watch the game.
Let's hope I can actually watch the game.
Yeah, we hope that the ice storm hasn't taken out Charlotte. But
right.
What are the keys against it? You know more about this Ohio State team than I do.
Jesus. The thing with Ohio State is that they have Jordan Cambridge, who's a fantastic player. She's already had 40, I think, or something this year, or something close to it. Then they have the transfer in Gray, I think her name is Chance Gray. Fantastic three-point shooter. I think she hit 6 or 7 in a game once. With that being said, they're very up and down, meaning they don't make great decisions at times, which is why they get themselves in trouble. For us, we have to play our basketball. I really hope that they figure out another option, because people are going to continue to pack the paint, and it's going to get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder for us to score if we don't figure out another option. Number one thing is we have to take care of the basketball. I know that sounds crazy, but we do, because we know Ohio State. We've had our share of Ohio State over the years. So we have that. We have to keep a lid on those two players. Like, we have to keep a lid on them. I like how we're playing, though, as a team. I like our energy. I think that needs to continue on. But for me, taking care of the basketball is going to be huge, and rebounding. Because if we rebound, we're holding them to one and done. We're not giving second chance points. And that, to me, is huge.
Ohio State's got wins, top 25 wins over West Virginia. They won at Maryland like Iowa did. They just beat TCU a few days ago in kind of an oddly timed non-conference affair. TCU was a top 10 team at the time. And Ohio State is riding a 7-game win streak right now.
But I love that it's home. That right there, I'll take our chances at being at home.
What would be your words of advice for Iowa fans going out to see the game on Sunday? Probably going to be really cold. We got like -40 wind chills tomorrow and Saturday. Should warm up a little bit by Sunday, but that could keep people away. It'll still be packed though.
They going. They're definitely going. Be loud and obnoxious. That's the only thing I can say. Be loud and obnoxious, and make home court advantage really feel like home court advantage, which you guys normally do anyways. Keep that in mind. I'm just saying.
Iowa, Ohio State on Peacock, 1 p.m. Central Time Sunday inside Carver-Hawkeye Arena. Another top 15 affair between the Hawks and another Big Ten foe. Please hit the like button, folks. If you're here and you've been watching, please do that. If you watched for 5 minutes or for the last 2 hours, we were here a long time. Kachine, we always appreciate your time. And, of course, a plug for our Discord. Instructions across the bottom of your screen, links to donate to the Discord and join the chat. It was a great commentary, great conversation during the game today. And basically every day, all day, it seems like there's always conversation with our community over there on the Discord. And if you're not familiar with Discord, we send you a link. It'll send you to an app. and it's easy to use. Basically, a big chat feature or message board app, if you want to look at it that way. Donate via PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, $5 a month, or $50 donation for the entire year. We will eat the third-party costs. If you're interested in sponsorships, email me, info@fromthehawkeyeofthestorm.com, info@fromthehawkeyeofthestorm.com. Also, I am at From the Hawkeye on X and on Instagram, From the Hawkeye of the Storm on Facebook. We just hit 4,000 followers on the Facebook page. We need to grow the Instagram. That's something that is a priority. So help us do that. Please give us a follow on Instagram. Kachine, we appreciate your time as always. I'm glad it's not too late on the East Coast. I know you're stocked up for the weekend of ice and winter weather. So stay inside, stay warm as we will, stay safe, and we'll hope to talk to you on Sunday.
Absolutely. Go Hawks. 8-0.
All right, folks, for Kachine Alexander, I'm Corey Bratta from the Hawkeye of the Storm. We will talk to you soon.